Oh, buddy gets the 7 o'clock.
Yeah, lights, camera, action. You got it. That's what we were doing. Lights.
Man,
We were doing the lights right when you said that.
there we go. There we go. It can be us for a moment
Yeah.
as we get started. Hello, welcome to the Tuesday night stream from the studio. I am Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel and some content that I do on Kim Fixes Things on YouTube. But you have found the Buff Del Campo channel. I'm here with Buff Del Campo. And yeah, we're live. This is our studio stream. You can tell by the beautiful young lady modeling with the car behind us. And she will
look
not
at that.
be. Yeah.
You can see through my drink because it's green.
Our filter removes green. Is there one with? I don't think we have a camera that's.
What are you doing?
I wanted to see if we had a camera
that blocks a corner out of it.
Oh, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Okay, so. Yeah, anyways, using technology, we eliminate the green from our background. If we're wearing green, you can see right through it.
Yeah, like if I had a green shirt on, you
Mountain
just
Dew,
see my head moving
he'd just
around.
be a floating entity, and it's scary. That's why we don't do it. It's scary. It really is. But anyways, we use technology and a little bit of retro futurism there to bring you us. But it isn't just us, because I know I'm not terribly interesting. You would not sit and watch. Most people won't watch me for 10 minutes, let alone 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 hours. And Buff Del Campo is more interesting. He's seasoned. He's got the stories. He's got the gift of gab. You know, he can really keep a conversation
So do you.
going. Not for hours and 10 minutes. After 10 minutes.
You want to get to we're scrolling past our introductions
I don't
already.
care. I'm talking.
Okay.
But with the help of our community and our chat, we are infinitely more interesting because you guys, you've got the pulse. You've got the pulse. What's going on in the world? What is happening on your channels? That's right. You can advertise here. You can tell us, I just made a new video on my channel, and we will ask one of our moderators to post a link to your channel and the whole thing. Like, it's a community stream. We would not bother to do this unless we knew you were all going to be here. So if you're here afterwards, I'm sorry you missed the stream, but you're still welcome to watch. And we'll have lots of entertainment going along the way. But we are going to do a lot of interacting with our chat and our community. So we'll be greeting people as we come in. We'll award some points. And we will probably say goodnight to a bunch of people. We'll probably repeat ourselves as we go along as the night goes on. So, sorry. Because people come and go. Very rarely do people stay from beginning to end. Some people do. I see you. But
Which we appreciate that.
well, we try and be entertaining enough that people can stick around. But a lot of people turn us on, maybe put us on the TV, and then do the dishes. Or, do some craft work or whatever like that. That's okay too. But if you can chat, that's fun. And if you can send pictures, that's something special that we like to be able to do, especially on Tuesday night, because we're in the studio. We're not distracted by the shop and all the things going on in there. And so we have Buff Del Campo's email. And if you want to send pictures or links to things, you can send them in buffdelcampo@gmail.com. I'll type that in shortly, and I'll give him a second to speak as well. And we will get back to points. Points will happen in a second, but I got to type. Go ahead, say something interesting.
Well, we've scrolled the whole page of everybody that's here, and you usually say hi to everybody, and they're all gone already. We'll have to scroll back. Well, no, we'll have to
They
scroll
left
back.
because we did not say hello quick
Yeah, we
enough.
got to just scroll
Who was here?
back.
Buddy Carfano was here
Yeah, well,
this morning.
The funny one is, at 1:54 p.m., earlier this afternoon, Danny Boyd, in caps, writes, "I am drunk."
Danny Boyd, day drinking.
Before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.
I'm curious and he is here at 7 on the nose. Okay. Let's see. Buddy was first, then Danny Boyd, then JB, and Tavo was here early. Tavo's usually working on Tuesdays. He's on the other side of the world, so we're right in the middle of his workday.
It's actually Wednesday there.
Yeah.
Middle of his workday. What are you doing, Tavo? You not working? Or you take an early lunch? Oh, he's playing hooky?
He's probably got us on the back room.
Oh, he's in the back room with us.
Okay, Buddy Carvajal gets 3 points for being here before the stream started. Danny Boyd is going to get 3 points for being the first commenter at 7, right here at start time.
So is Buddy Carvajal.
But Buddy already got 3 points for being here early, and I don't double point at the beginning of the stream, because then people start muscling everyone else out.
I see.
Okay. KJ Kylie is here also at 7 on the nose. I'm gonna award her 2 points for being on the ball. I'm also gonna award everyone else who is already here 1 point. So if you've commented in the chat, you get a point. And if you are watching and you are on a device where you cannot easily interact or chat, I'm going to award you a point for being here at the beginning of the stream. And if you are watching after the stream, you're watching the replay because you couldn't be here live, I'm going to award you 2 points because you don't normally get any points. But people watching replays are valid.
You sure giving away the points tonight?
Not everybody can be here when we're live. And the replay people actually get extra points just tonight, though. I can't do that all the time because that's excessive. And the points are on your honor. I don't keep track of the points. You keep track of the points. It's easy for you to just keep track of your own points, so I ask you to do that. And it's like the whose line is it anyways with the points, right? The points don't matter and the squirrels are on fire. Okay? All right. So.
Okay, you have to scroll back to get a few people because you blew them off.
KJ Kylie says, Kim, I am a him. Always have been. KJ Kylie, I don't know why.
I said him one time. KJ Kylie, I said he. And she corrected me as this KJ Kylie's a she. Well, now we know. Now we know.
I've been wrong this whole time. How many times have I
corrected me and
misgendered?
KJ.
I don't have pictures. You guys have the unfair advantage of being able to see us, to see our mugs, right? You see us. You have some type of feedback, visual feedback. I just have names. KJ is completely gender neutral. I have no idea. Okay. Tavo says, you're stuck with me for the entire stream this week. Nice.
Yeah, he says things are a bit slow at work, so I'm taking a few
days he's taking leave. He's on holiday. Did they say that in Australia, or is that just a European thing?
What, leave?
Holiday.
Oh, holiday.
Is he on holiday?
Leave sounds like he said leave, so that sounds like what we say in military.
Don't leave.
No, leave is like time off.
Yeah, that's like military.
Oh, Kylie is a woman's name when used as a first name. Maybe that's okay. Can you have lost the chat?
I have lost the chat.
Okay, let's stop there.
I've lost more than just the chat.
Okay, so Johnny C, I'm going to start saying hello to people.
Oh, my goodness, I skipped saying hello to everyone.
Yes.
Johnny C, welcome to the stream. Crash's Roadrunner Garage was here right at the start. Welcome to the stream. Gearhead6971 says, sup, everybody. All right. Olive is here. Welcome to the stream.
And Olive is she.
Put some coffee on.
And that was
good idea.
That was a big mix-up one night with because Mexican Spec says it's a she, and it was what's his name? Guy from Ukraine from
Ozan?
Ozan.
Oh, and there's a language barrier too, because I think Ozan is through a translator.
Does everything through Google Translate. So then there's this mess up because he thought Mexican Spec said he was a she, and Mexican Spec was telling him that Olive was a she, and he got pissed off. No, I'm a he. And I was sitting there going, oh, we get good translators. We should get things screwed up sometimes. So, anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, I think we're doing good now. We're moving along. Tavo's here for free cookies and dancing girls. Well, we might be able to deliver dancing girls.
Where's the dancing girls?
I was just trying to figure out where we get the free... Where's the free cookies? I don't even have a free cookie.
I have free cough drops.
I'll pass.
Yeah,
I do have coffee, though. I've had my first cup. You could tell because I'm rolling. Does Hacky 97 says, what's up? Does anyone have trouble putting the 904 gear lever? Putting the 904 gear lever.
I don't know.
Seems like there's probably more to that question.
Something more to that question, yeah.
We'll get back to it. Oh, wow.
Holy
Since 2001.
crap.
That is one heck of a cold case. JB said, when I discovered Kim, I binge watch all of her videos. Thank you, JB. That's awesome.
I did that too. And I was working in Ohio, and she was in Pittsburgh, and I was trying to figure out how to go meet her. But I didn't want to be a stalker. And then she went to No Name Nationals, and so did I. And so I didn't have to stalk her. I met her at No Name Nationals. The first annual No Name National.
Let's see. Danny Boyd has sobered up. It's been so long. He just sobered up. Well, you know, it's still early. JG Mopar said, I just finished a cup of coffee. Hi, Buff and Kim and chat. Well, welcome, JG, I'm sorry.
UDX 76. UDX is a CB radio club. And that's where I met. That's where I met him.
That's one of the people from your radio group.
That's from
because
390 Wagon Master channel.
Hence this is where the what's this
D104.
The D104 comes from his radio. He really enjoys CB radio stuff, and one of his nights a week he spends in that community. So we welcome anyone who has come from there. We talk about a lot of cars.
I don't have one radio that works right now. Because the one that was in the Mazda in the crash ripped the antenna off the roof, and that was the one that worked. And the car's gone. So, yeah, now I got another new radio, and I'm not going to get one set up pretty quickly here. Enough of the CB.
Let's see. Patrick Sullivan is here. Welcome to the stream. Kane Nelson is here. How many points for viewing while I cook my dinner? Kay Nelson, I award you an additional point for watching, even though you're trying to cook, because it is difficult to spread your attention and making a comment while you're doing all that. That's a lot.
It's like cooking with this hand and typing with this hand and watching and listening.
Yeah, don't burn your food. But it's great to know that, see, there's people here who aren't normally in the chat. They're busy doing stuff because we all have busy lives. And it's great that so many people stop in to be a part of our group and of our stream. Miss One-Eyed Cat is here. Welcome to the stream. Probably Mr. One-Eyed Cat will be in as well, I would guess, is it as often it happens. What did I do? I keep scrolling too far.
Okay. Because you're not keeping up. It's chat's rolling and we're not.
Okay. I think we're back to the question again. My stupid mechanic is having a hard time installing my gear selector lever. That's all it needs so I can drive it, says Hacky97. Gear selector lever. What kind of lever is it?
Yeah, I wonder what kind of car that is.
Is it like a shifter on the floor, or is it on the column? Did the linkage get lost? there's a lot of there is a lot of pieces.
Well, and is it
Getting all
did
the
it
linkages fitted
did
up.
it go from a manual to an automatic or whatever?
Or did you
Does hockey
change from
say?
a 1 barrel to a 2 barrel carburetor? Because it actually is a lot of linkages there. So it could be harder than it it seems like. Well, that would be easy, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time.
Hockey said 904, so I guess it went to an automatic, or maybe it was an automatic originally. Don't know.
KJ Kylie says, I dressed up like a girl for Halloween one time. Man, was I ugly. Must have been the mustache. KJ Kylie, so someone taught me this one time. You might not have been ugly. You might just not have been your type. Right? Some men might prefer women with mustaches. Who are we to judge? So, on to the next. Rob's Rods and Streetcars says, howdy, everybody. Howdy, Rob. Welcome to the stream. Hippie Long is here. Hello, all. Welcome to the stream. Olive has some fancy vanilla wafer cookies and Nilla wafers. That's awesome. See, they're ready. They're smart. They've got the snacks. Make sure you have your snacks and your beverages and some photos to send in, because every week we pick a year. Actually, we usually ask Buddy Carafano to pick a year.
I picked the year.
You did this year, this week? Okay, good.
I have the last two.
We pick a year because sometimes the conversation, like I said, the squirrels are on fire. To help us focus, we pick a year, not a decade, a year, or maybe a small group of years. Like Tri-5 Chevys are probably going to come up. And if something's a 56 or a 58,
well, it's 57.
We so probably won't get mad at you if you're off by a year, but we try and have some focus there. Tonight, we're going to talk about cars from 1957. And so if you have a favorite car, a rare and unusual car, a photo of something that is automotive adjacent, send it to us at the email address, buffdelcampo@gmail.com, and we will hopefully have time throughout the stream to bring it up, because every once in a while he's going to change this picture.
I am. I'm going to.
And we might talk about the picture, or we might just look at the picture and just continue to talk about whatever. And it makes it fun. It allows you to be part of the stream. And yeah, we're just going to get on there.
10 points get you one cookie. Buddy Carafano. Hippie Long. Finally, after 3 days, 8 attempts. Finally, after 3 days, 8 attempts. Oh, what's that reference to? I missed that.
I don't know. I think we missed something because I only see one comment.
Yeah, okay, so.
Before that, so. I guess Olive is there's a vanilla theme. Oh, vanilla wafers and Nilla wafers. They're different things, though, aren't they? I don't know. Okay.
There.
Whoa, there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, because you.
Okay, guys. I might skip some stuff because we're gonna get ourselves up to current. So if I do skip something important, you could say it again. Hippie Long says, I got my upper ball joints out. It took fire from God and 3 adult males to finally break them loose. Yeah, sometimes it definitely requires a sledgehammer. And the fire wrench, liquid metal is less resistant. It doesn't put up as much of a fight. Tava will be on and off doing stuff in the shop. Yeah, get some stuff done. It's your holiday.
Yeah, Tava, be careful with that hand. I'm sure it isn't all the way healed yet.
Yeah, keep it clean. We don't need infection. The fire wrench is very useful. There's some hellos back and forth. Has anyone replaced a windshield that uses the lock strip gasket? I'm going to do my 65 Valiant. Not sure if I will open a can of worms. If it's an old gasket, you'll probably need to get a new one because they get hard over time and then they're near impossible to work with. Although I got the back window out of a Volkswagen Beetle that was like 40 years old. I got it out and then I used a rope and I pulled it back in. That was a long time ago, but it did work. Okay. We're catching up on chat here. We're working on it.
Slowly catching up. Rick Shea. Hello from Henderson, Nevada. Hello, Rick Shea.
Hey, Rick. Welcome to the stream. Doo-doo.
Yeah, we're way behind.
Okay, hold on. Don't get too worried.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we don't miss anybody's. See here, we're going to be caught up.
I want to get back here to JG Mopar about that gasket.
Oh, okay.
I called a guy in a glass shop on my Studebaker because similar kind of thing, and I wanted to get that glass out, and I didn't want to hurt that gasket. And the guy came out and looked at it, and he goes, "I'll show you how to get that out." And he took a knife and went, cut the gasket all the way around, and lifted the window out. I thought, okay, I guess that's the way you do it. He goes, "These things are too hard. You never get that out."
You know what? It was from out west, so
and it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
Oh, vanilla wafers and pistachio ice cream does sound fantastic. Let's see.
All right, Christine. Well, almost. That's a 57. Christine was a 58. You could shrink us down so we could see that.
I will then.
And then Rick Shea says hello from Henderson again with smiley face. Hello again. Tavo, yeah, nearly all our cars have the Mylar lock strip. Best to do as Kim said, assemble it out of the car, then use rope trick to pull the seal into the frame. Okay, it's let's see. Who sent this? I should know this, and I'm
63 through 66 windshield seals are readily available. I'd imagine they're easy to find over there. I know you can order them, so
it was JB. JB sent this 57 Plymouth. He sent a lot of pictures. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking when you're talking.
B&R Racing is here. Welcome to the stream. Steel rubber for the molded rubber back glass and front windshield, where I bought it for my 63 Grand Prix, was like $300. Yeah, if you can reuse it, use it, because it is expensive. But I know, like the stuff in my car, my 66, it's bad. I gotta replace it, and the windshield is bad. It needs replaced too. It's not cracked, it's all fogged. Oh, I think if you're just dealing with new stuff, it's pretty easy, JG Mopar. John Bossoms is here.
Good evening.
Welcome to the stream.
And Boat Anchor's here.
Oh, welcome to stream. Boat Anchor CB Radio Repair. Check out Boat Anchor CB Radio Repair's channel, and they fix radios. I think they sell radios too that they fix.
He
sometimes
brought that up in here, 2 weeks ago? A week ago? I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I bought a radio from him, basically made the deal right here in the chat, and then I paid him for it. And he did a video of him putting new capacitors in it. And so then he tuned it up and sent it to me, and I've got it. And
we didn't get a chance to turn it on
I haven't turned it on yet because
we don't have any antenna.
My best antenna got ripped off my car in the crash, so I've got to...
Well, there's supposed to be an antenna on the side of the house.
Yeah, I know. We haven't gotten to that. It's like we're stacked up with projects and stuff.
It's too cold to go outside.
And it's freaking cold out there.
I told ya. I'm not going to call you out during stream. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, tomorrow during the day, let's go out there and do it.
I told you what is in my way. Okay.
The poison ivy?
No.
I don't even know.
He and I will discuss it off stream because I don't want to give him a hard time. All right.
Well, he's asking, did Studebaker make a 57 Golden Hawk? I'm not sure. I know they made a Silver Hawk because that's what my Chevy engine came out of, and the guy that had it, that's the car that ran over me. Because we didn't wheel chalk it like idiots. Two of us, both same age, both been working on cars forever, known each other since right after high school, and this was like we were both 62 years old. 61, something like that. And
All right, this is
managed to run over myself.
This is how I answer these questions, right? Oh, why are we not having? Oh,
I don't know.
I have.
I managed to run over myself with a 61 with a 57 Silverhawk.
I thought that was set up. Okay, magical green screen. I gotta tell you guys, Wikipedia. I don't know how I survived without Wikipedia.
But that's Wikipedia has a lot of good stuff, but what they do is they guide you somewhere, and sometimes things aren't right.
Oh, they can absolutely be wrong, but any source could be wrong.
What's really good about Wikipedia is down at the bottom they have like a bibliography.
They do.
So you can go.
They have external links.
You can go from there or maybe other places and verify. So I use Wikipedia a lot, but I try to verify.
Check this out. They got a bunch of information from the Studebaker Golden Hawk Owners Register. That's probably a really cool place to go if you have a Studebaker. Anyways, it looks like the Studebaker was 56 through 58. So I'll bet you we need to look at some 57 Studebakers.
Yeah, I know there was a Silverhawk and a Golden Hawk, and I don't know what years were what. I know in 56 they had a Golden Hawk, because there it is, and I remember that, but I don't know if 57 they had the Golden Hawk or not. I know they had the Silverhawk, because that's what ran over me.
Tavo says, it's nice outside here. It is 70 freedom degrees. It is only about 30 freedom degrees here, and we're not really, it doesn't feel as free.
What is it right now? Because it was warmer today. Well, I wouldn't call it warm. But
I took most of today off to get some rest and be all energized so I could bring all the energy to the stream.
Should I say what happened with me, my sleep? Oh, it's warm.
Yeah, because then
it's 35. It's 35 freedom degrees.
Then I don't have to be the only one to hear about
it. I didn't sleep all night. I dozed off like a few minutes here and there. And then what puts me to sleep is I put something on YouTube that's some long talking, And what happened was, we got some, I'm not keeping up. But anyway, and then I didn't sleep all day either. Oh, it's Sitlali Castro Portillo. That is Mexican Specs.
Oh, Mexican Specs borrowing someone's account.
That's his. I think niece that is just graduating from college.
Oh, I see. Welcome to the stream, Mexican Spec.
When I saw that come up, that's what I was like, wow.
Do not ignore your company to play with us this evening too much, okay? But
yeah, he left me a note that he was going to be in here on a different name. So
Patrick Sullivan is here.
Patrick Sullivan.
Welcome to the stream. Degrees. 8 degrees. That's cold. I don't like that.
Yeah, what did I say it was here? It was. I looked and then I.
One Eye Cat says it's 20 here, but feels like 10 in PA. It always feels colder in Pittsburgh. And if it's really cold overnight and then it's a little warmer during the day, it still feels extra cold all day.
I don't want to put that up because it's one of our address. 35 degrees here.
Now, for some reason, I've lost my images.
Dave the Rave, is that Macho Man? Macho Man.
Here it is, the 57 Studebaker Golden Hawk.
There is a Golden Hawk 57. Hey.
There was, yeah. I wanted to look it up first, but there it is. And then the other
thing was, somebody said here, it's already scrolled by. Don't know.
Oh, Mexican Spec's heading home. All right, well, drive safe, Mexican Spec. Let's see. Oh, -17. Whew. You know what? We ran into the problem where when it's below freezing, can really, with the wood stove, I can only really bring up the temperature of the shop by about 20 degrees. So 50 is too cold. His feet get cold, and I can't have a diabetic.
Ad starting.
Okay. I can't have a diabetic man. Well, with cold, he'll get sick. I can't do that. So we can only get a little bit of time in the shop every day.
I'll go up there for a couple hours and then it's like it hits me. Uh-oh, I'm cold. And I look over the thermometer, it really isn't any colder in there, maybe 1 degree or something. It's like, okay, I hit my limit. So I got to get out of here. And I just tell her I'm cold. And she goes along with it.
I make him suffer just a little bit, and then I let him go. The Golden Hawk was a great handling car and fast for its time. Wasn't the Golden Hawk a supercharged vehicle too? Didn't they have a
I believe
supercharger
so.
for
Yeah,
that?
they had a 289 supercharged. Yeah, that was pretty pretty nice car. Uh,
Oh, Dr. Go is here. Welcome to the
Dr.
stream.
Go. Oh, -6 this morning and -17 wind chill for Mrs. Go.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it's a way up north. Way up north. I saw something else I was going to comment on, but I know what it is. John Boston's. Did either of you ever own a DeSoto or anyone you know of? If so, what did they think of it? Man, who did I know that I did not? It's one of those. I'll never have one because they go for so much money now. My favorite one was the last year, the 1961 DeSoto. It's just so different. But and the 57 DeSoto, I really like that thing. But they're just I'd say the 57 is probably my favorite one. 61 would be almost his favorite. But yeah, they're yeah, see that
Hold on, I gotta get
that
it
you
going
got
here.
you got that salmon colored one there.
A salmon color.
Yeah, and the white one too. They're both 57. I really like the looks of 57 DeSotos. Yeah, and some of them had the quad headlights in 57 and some of them didn't. And that was because some states had not approved the quad headlights yet, but some had. So you see a few 1957 cars that have quad headlights. Yeah, I've never owned one. Do I know anybody that has? I'm sure I do at some point. Can't think of who right now, but maybe I will. Let's see here. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat, it's going to get colder here. They're saying, good, then I got me a new winter coat this year. Well, that's good.
I've got a heavy duty Carhartt, like the Arctic version coat, and even when it's like frigid cold, it works. But my feet and legs get cold because the coat's only, waist length. That's what we got to get you. We got to get you some insulated coveralls to wear.
I've got that big old heavy coat. It's just hard to wear that when we're doing anything.
It's hard to get anything done when you're all layered up. It is.
Well, I go up there with basically with 3 layers on, which is, I get kind of bulky up there, but then to put a coat on top of it, you put that big old coat on top of me up there, whatever night it was. Oh, yeah. You put the coat, you must have put it over by the
I did.
By the wood stove, and then you put it on me. Man, that felt good, but I was trying to do stuff. She just draped it over my shoulder, so it was starting to fall off. BNR, I found, Olive says some had the Avanti engine, basically. Or the Avanti came later. Maybe it had the whatever that thing was. We're just talking about the Golden Hawk.
Oh, yes.
Engine.
The Golden Hawk engine.
Yeah, Andy Granatelli went out in, what was it, in 63, I think it was 1963, went 171 miles an hour in a stock Avanti. That's crazy, on the salt flats. BNR, I found a place to reground, reface flat tap lifters, Delta cams in Tacoma. Well, do we want to talk about the
Sure, we could talk about it a little bit, but we're going to make a video so that we could show you, because it's more interesting if we could show you. But basically, we were able to get Melling brand, made in Mexico.
Let's back up. little history first.
Okay, I don't want to do that much talking about it. We were able to source brand new lifters, and we put those in.
Oh.
Regrinding with with the shipping and the time and the cost of the machining is probably not much cheaper than buying.
We were going this way, and now we're going this way, and I was gonna bring them up to date on that.
Nah,
you don't want to do that? Okay.
Nah, maybe we will, but I'm not ready to talk. Let's talk about cars a little bit. We didn't talk about the project at all, did we?
No.
We've been neglecting discussing everything. I don't know. Maybe the squirrels are on fire, people. Do you understand what I said? The squirrels are on fire. I like the 57 Packard Clipper.
Oh, you know what? Now we're talking, because the Packard people don't like those. But I'm kind of a Studebaker person. So in 57 and 58, Packard's, the Studebaker people called them Packard Bakers, because they were jazzed up Studebakers. And I always liked them because I said, man, they're the best Studebakers ever built. And the Packard people are like, ugh. They weren't really Packards. They were Studebakers. So, yeah, I really like it. And especially the 58s, the last year, like the 58 Packard Hawk. That was the Studebaker Hawk with a different nose and different tail on it. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. I don't know. Somebody else asked something here that I saw. Oh, Dr. Go had some room full of DeSotos and classic big Chryslers at permanent indoor display
at Iola.
At Iola.
Oh, okay.
You know, everybody talks about that. Now I've seen a lot of it online. Yeah, that's a pretty good run for us, but that would be a fun thing to go to. I don't know if we could, but John Bossum's Kim, do you use a 180-degree thermostat or 195 in your six engines? I have a 180 in my D150. Seems too cold for the winter. We run 180s.
But we don't run the cars in the winter.
Yeah,
if you're running your I would run a 195 if you're going to do winter driving, because you'll use the extra heat,
I suppose.
And most people don't change out thermostats, but seasonally you could change it so that it runs the 180 during the summer.
That's the old days. Like when I first had my radiator shop, I first worked at a radiator shop in 1971. There were still people that did that, had winter thermostats and summer thermostats, and they swapped them out. And, but people don't do that anymore. Yeah, I don't know. You could do that, I suppose.
And there's it. So if you're running the 180 thermostat and you have really good flow, and it's super, super cold, and you're going down the highway, sometimes you won't get any heat out of a car. What some people do is they'll put a piece of cardboard, or they'll have like a deflector so that not as much airflow goes through the radiator. So I don't know, because sometimes it got really cold in Pittsburgh. I don't. That's the way she goes.
JG Mopar. Do you think in 60 to 70 years people will look at our cars from today the way we look at cars from years ago? No, I don't. But I could be wrong, because back in the early 70s, I had some Mustangs, like 1965 and 6 and 7 Mustangs, and some guy told me these are going to be classics someday, and I said, they'll never be classics. They made over 1 million of these things, like 65 and 66. They made too many of them. These will never be classics. Well, here we are. Go out and try to buy a 65 Mustang and see what you're going to pay for it. So I was wrong there. But I think 60 to 70 years from now, people are going to, all these cars are all these modules on CAN buses. Where are you going to get these modules? There's cars that are 10 years old right now that are basically bricked because they can't get a module. They got to go to a junkyard and get a module. And then you got to get a program for that car, and maybe you can't do that. I think there's going to be some real problems there. But like Jim and I are working on this on these old Chrysler products, these A bodies. You know what happens if we don't have a part? We go find a piece of steel or a piece of aluminum and we make the part. There's no modules that we can't get, so we make this stuff. I don't think they'll be able to do that unless they can just find a workaround and, you know, put a slant six in the car or something.
I think that it will not be the same, but there will be people who have an affinity for a 2001 Subaru WRX or something something that you're not likely to expect, that people will really think are something special. But there's obviously going to be some unique challenges of restoring or maintaining a vehicle with all this wiring. I mean, can you imagine fixing mouse damage on one of these cars that's 10 or 15 years old?
Oh God, get bundle of wires this big around. Where's my hand? This big around and a mouse chewed.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually there will be aftermarket. Like right now, you can put fuel injection on a car from 1957, like this Packard, but you could put one of those throttle body fuel injection aftermarket things from Holley or something like that on there, and run fuel injection. I think there'll be substitutes for some of this stuff, but it won't be the same, but it will in some ways. There's always going to be people who like the old things or the old style of things. And then with 3D printing, a lot of the plastic stuff will be able to be scanned and reproduced. So then you'll have brand new plastic parts.
Maybe they'll be able to 3D print circuit boards with components on them. I don't know. You never know what technology's going to do.
Yeah.
Dr. Go, free room and board here at the Go House. Only 40 minutes.
We may take you up on that.
Man.
Although we wouldn't want to.
Here he comes again. He helped rescue us.
Yes.
In the crash when the whale from No Name Nationals.
The Goes are such wonderful people.
The Goes are wonderful people.
They really are. We had a great time.
Boat Anchor says, I got an EGR valve for the vet. Hope this one works. I hope it works. Johnny C., my grandpa was a Mopar man. He had a beautiful 57 Royal Lancer.
Oh, I'm going to bring that up so we can.
He later traded it for a 66 Charger. The Lancer was so futuristic. I wish I had it today. My father, his boss, when I was a little kid, had a 57 Dodge with big fins on the back, and I thought that was so cool. Oh, it says, well, there are plenty of classics that were common. They don't have to be rare collectibles to become classics. Oh, it says Tri-5 Chevys were near bestsellers, too. Man, when I was in high school, Tri-5 Chevys, a lot of kids had those because they were cheap. It was in 1970 to 72. That was my high school years, my driver's license years. And, man, my friends that had those things, those were $300 cars, and look what happened to them now,
I think my opinion is that one of the things that makes a car a beloved classic, like one of those ones that are very sought after, is that they may make a lot of them, so that there's a bunch of people who remember working on them, remember riding in them, remember wanting one, remember seeing one, remember having one, have fond memories of them. I think that's something that turns cars into classics as they become worn out and rare and gone. Like most classic cars have to go through that phase where they're the ugly stepchild. People don't want them around anymore, so they're cheap and plentiful and in junkyards and stuff like that. You can't do that with a Ferrari or something like that because there's no. It's just different. Go ahead.
Can you scroll back about half a dozen lines?
Oh, wow. There's tons of greetings going around.
It got away from us.
Two Hacks came in. Welcome to the stream.
GM Chrysler offered FI in 1957. That's the one I wanted to get. Oh, wait a minute.
Injection
I figure if any old hobby will involve aftermarket computer wiring looms anyway, people already doing it. Okay. GM and Chrysler offered it FI in 1957. Yes, they did. And GM kept it around for a while. Chrysler, I think, replaced it. Okay, now you can, Grampito Vic saying, man, that's just like
Everyone's just doing
It's
greetings. That's fine.
flying. Two Hacks is here, yeah. Hello, Two Hacks. Yeah, everybody's greeting everybody. I'm not going to read all
Oh,
those
where's
greetings.
everybody coming from? Because Grand Beta Vic's here as well.
Yep.
Everybody's showing up now. Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you were not here at the beginning, you missed the squirrels are on fire, which basically means we're all over the place.
Two Hacks. I don't think anything today will be a classic. Zero personality and no soul. You know,
but people
think
give
about it.
it personality and soul.
What cars? I've done this before. Predict what's going to be a classic someday, and like thinking about it today. Is there anything that's like I was thinking that like 20 years ago? What were the little two-seat Buicks? There was a little two-seat Buick that I thought would be, but I don't know if that's turned into anything that people want. What was that thing called? I can't think of it right now.
Does anybody know what the two-seat Buick that might have become a classic? So if you think about it, though, some of the cars, because people say the things that people say are a barrier, I don't think are, because like fuel injection and lots of computers and wiring. Well, there are cars that people really like that have some of that stuff.
JB got it. Riata.
Riata.
Does he get any points for that?
Yes, 2 points for knowing that he meant Riata. I don't know how you are inside his head, but...
Because that's the only two-seat Buick. And he knows that. 2X says he knows where there's an original Chrysler 300D with the fuel factory injection. Wow, because a lot of those were pulled off because they didn't work right, and they put carburation on them. Patrick Sullivan, Central Illinois here, the land of corruption. Yeah.
Oh, everybody's showing up. Potato, potato, potato. Have no fear, the Dougster is here.
Dougster will put a whole...
He doesn't have to put all those potatoes.
Don't put 5,000 potatoes on my screen.
Welcome to the stream, Dougster. It's white and in a million pieces. I missed what we're talking about.
That's the 57 Chrysler with the fuel injection.
Said, I'm close to firing my engine on the engine stand soon. I'm friggin' excited. I'm excited for you. We want to see the video. Make sure you make a video. First starts are big. So yeah, do the first start there. Pontiac Solstice will be a classic. Nice car.
It could be.
That's convertible two-seater kind of thing?
Yeah, there was a Pontiac, and there was also the same car. There was a Saturn Sky, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
And then there was one in Europe that was a what's the one in Europe called? I don't remember, but it was the same car. But we didn't get them here. Well, everybody else.
Oh, Mike N is here somewhere. Welcome to the stream, Mike. I didn't see. Oh, there you are. Riata buy a different car?
Riata buy a different car. Well, see, I think that's a really cool looking car, but it's a very complex car with touch screen. It was a touch screen that was a CRT, not a flat screen. Some real complicated early electronics. So it's a pretty cool car, but I don't know if all that stuff will ever work, Jay Leno said the Aztec will be a collectible. It's already a cult classic due to the hate and breaking.
Well, that's the thing too. There'll be cult classic cars, and they'll be
yeah, just interesting ones. Grand Pete, I'm going live with the grandkids that helped build my LS3. Can't wait to see their faces when it first fires up for the first time. Yeah, that'll be cool. Chris.
Welcome to the stream, Chris. 2005 Mustang. You like the Mustangs?
I like those. But see, you remember when I was looking for a car, but the last time I was looking for a car, I needed one that drove. I couldn't look for a project. I'd still like to find a 2005 Mustang that the running gear's all screwed up. Because
We need one that it's
well,
not screwed up.
well, no, because then I put a 351 or something in it instead of what it originally had. What it's like is here. Hey, how's it going, Jay? You know who Jay is. What it's like
I
channel.
do. Welcome to the stream.
What
Yeah.
it's like channel.
Check out the What It's Like channel. There's a lot of content, interesting car content coming through there all the time. And they would really appreciate your subscription and your viewership. So if you're looking for entertainment, you can probably find some there.
Oh, JB says Opel GT was the third two-seat convertible. Yeah, it was an Opel. I couldn't pull that up. I kept thinking something else. But anyway, the Opel was also the same as the Pontiac Solstice and it was the same car, but it was the European version. Will there ever be any love for the Chevy SSR? You know, I like that thing. I don't know. So it's got kind of a following, you know.
I think it'll always be one of those sort of oddball things. Even if you have one at the show, people will be like, "Oh, is that a what did it look like, the Plymouth? What did the SSR looked kind of like the Plymouth that came before it."
Oh, you talk about the PT Cruiser?
Yeah, I think people will always sort of think that it's a PT Cruiser. Like, no, this is an SSR from Chevy.
You're not thinking of the SSR, you're thinking of the HHR. The SSR is that little pickup with the top that folds down. The HHR is the one that looks kind of like a PT Cruiser.
Oh, man.
It's a Chevrolet, two different. Well, its Heritage High Roof is HHR, but it's scrolled by. I can't keep up.
Anything that you can put an LS in will eventually be something that people. I think a lot of it depends too on like politics and so here in Tennessee, a lot of cars are still on the road that wouldn't otherwise be like in the north where there's pollution standards, different like more strict pollution controls, because the first thing kids do here is chop off the catalytic converter.
That's not good though.
And no, it's idiotic, but the cars still stay around and there's no road salt, so they don't get so rusty. And so cars last longer and there's more things. Up north, the things that will be popular up north are definitely going to be different than the things that are popular down here. So, but the cost of automobiles is become so high. And they're talking about repealing some of the CARB standards in California and stuff like that to make things more affordable. I don't know that if that's ever going to happen, but if it does,
whole page scroll by here, and I know people that are coming in. I'm not saying hi to them.
Well,
can you scroll back like about 4 or 5 lines?
Can't even talk around.
I'm sorry. Terry Barker came in. That's who I want to say hi to.
Welcome to the stream, Terry.
I'm sorry. It's just
no, I'm giving you a hard time. We're fine.
It's just like going by, and
we don't want to miss people.
I don't want to miss people. That's right.
This is about community a lot more than.
Okay, we can continue to scroll now because I don't.
But I have groundbreaking news about this '57 Dodge Custom Royal Lancer. No, I don't. It's the same car it's been since '57. I like the SSR, just can't afford one.
Yeah, that's
Prowler. See, the Prowler is really rare.
Man, is that a weird car? But it's pretty cool. They just built that, you know.
But really rare. I think the PT Cruisers have already secured their place in history. I think that there will always be a PT Cruiser around.
I think the PT Cruiser was a great car. I had one when 155,000 miles with very little trouble. I had to put a clutch in it. Big deal. It was a 5-speed. I mean, to me, that's normal maintenance. And I had to do a timing belt on it. Not because anything broke, because it was due. But that was about it. And that thing just ran and ran and ran and ran. I used it for a truck. I carried stuff in it, drove it all over the country. And I kind of liked the looks of it. The young kids started hating it because they, stupid old man driving it. But then it became kind of a hated car because the young kids didn't like it. Okay, let's what it's like. When is No Name Nationals? Put me down for the van class, as long as it's not during Green Village. Oh, it's September. When is No Name Nationals?
The end of September. I
Yeah,
don't know the
it's
date.
like the third weekend of September. We're gonna have to pull up a. You know what we got to do? Uh,
Somebody in chat will know. What's the date for No Name
well, we need to.
Nationals?
He needs
Because
to go.
John Wilburn
He
has,
needs to go to John Wilburn's website
yeah, and get
and
registered.
get registered. Yeah, and see what the dates are.
Grand Pedovic ended up. Oh. His daughter's HHR was hot garbage.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Prowler. Yeah, Prowler's kind of a weird car in that it was a Plymouth, and then it was a Chrysler. Because they
That's right.
ended the Plymouth brand, but they kept the Prowler going. So it ended up as a Chrysler. I think that's pretty funny.
What motor did the Prowler have?
It had a V6 in it. It had one of those Chrysler 3-point something V6.
That's probably all it really needed, but people like the V8s. They really
Yeah,
do.
that was one of the.
And a Hemi would have been cool.
Yeah,
Wasn't the Prowler
was,
before the new generation Hemi came out?
yes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have a Hemi.
But it was tiny under there. I mean, it's not a big car. You ever get in a Prowler? I'm not a big guy, and I'm pretty tight in there. You know, it's like really, really, really small car. Diabolical 58. Good evening. Welcome to chat. All these old Plymouths and Chryslers were rust buckets out of the factory. Well, I don't know. I suppose.
Diabolical, it depends on where you live.
Depends on where you live, because in Arizona, they're still around.
Yeah. And I see them on Marketplace here in Tennessee, because it's just really people just, they were such good cars that people drove them into the ground. They drove them they drove the wheels off of them. And then it was like, it needs everything because it's got 300,000 miles. Literally, the cars here in Tennessee, people drove them till they had 300,000 miles. And then at that point, everything was there's so much wear and tear that it's just like, okay, time for a new car. And then you can't even sell it for anything but parts. So they go to the scrapyard. That's what happens to them.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can't keep up with the chat. I'm missing a lot of them. I'm sorry. I want to. I want to comment on all this, and it's just flying by. So
I can't even read this fast.
So, Dougster says all the Neons and PT Cruisers taken off the road. You see them everywhere. Rust never. Yeah, that's up there. Down here, they're still everywhere. Grand Pito Vic says September 18th, 19th, 20th. That's the No Name Nationals weekend. And you really want to get there on the 18th. Chifus designed the Prowler. Yeah, he did a lot of that work. My friend had a Prowler with the V6 and being aluminum and light with big tires. Big tires. You could take
big.
Oh, big tires. Harrod showed a speeding ticket at 136 miles an hour.
It's fast.
My daughter drove. I'm sorry, Grandpito Vic. My daughter drove. I did for 3 years, and now I'm gonna swap. It just disappeared. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep up with it. I'm missing a lot of chat here. But I don't want to keep scrolling up because then we lose track of everything. Diabolical. I'm talking about the late 50s models. Yeah, it just depends on where you live. Like when I lived in South Dakota in the 60s, they were already rusty. But, in Southern California and Arizona, there's no rust. There just isn't any rust. The only rust in California is when you drive on the beach, and that'll mess a car all up because it gets salt water up in there. Chichi Mopar, my mom had a PT Cruiser Turbo. Didn't get very good gas mileage. Man, mine was not a turbo, and it was a 5-speed, and I got like 33 miles a gallon most of the time.
Wait, a turbocharged, what is it, 2-liter engine? Didn't get good at gas mileage?
It was, well, she probably had her foot in it.
That's
Yeah.
the hard part, right?
When you have a turbo, you use it. And yeah, then it uses more fuel. If you could see this comment, hit the like button. Thank you. Terry Barker, 64 Valiant Wagon. I'm not sure what that, I missed something. Gigi Mopar, Valiant Wagons are sweet. Oh, says PT Cruisers kind of managed to be bad at everything, but useful form factor. Always wanted to make one properly cool. I
I
don't know.
mean, it was basically a Dodge
I thought,
Neon powertrain in a different shape of car.
I think it was a really solid car, and I don't know why people don't like them because the uh, what was the car you just said?
No, Dodge Neon.
The Neon was kind of a flimsy car compared to the PT Cruiser. PT Cruiser had big, solid A pillars, B pillars, C pillars. I mean, the thing was as stout as it gets, and the rear suspension was a little bit better because it was just set up a little differently. And man, those things, I just don't understand what all the hate and dislike was for them because I ran mine pretty darn hard. What it's like, Buff? What's your favorite '50s car besides the Dodge Royal Lancer? Oh, my favorite '50s car? Man, I don't know. '57 Ranchero, '57 Ford two-door wagons. What else? '50s car. Well, just about everything in '59. all that, all that crazy fins and everything. Yeah, I had one of those for a while. '57 Ranchero. Kind of wish I still had that. Uh, let's see here. Yes, I did. My dad raced there for several years. I don't know what that. They're talking about something I missed.
Oh, we missed saying welcome to Blue Brick Garage. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, okay. Man.
Grand Vic said the Neons threw head gaskets like dog bones. Well, yeah, but they were just cheap little cars and people used and abused them. And honestly, a head gasket is just like a normal thing for.
Well, I bet somebody got it hot because mine.
Yeah.
I put a timing belt on it. I think at about 80,000 miles, and it was coming up due for that again when my kid wrecked it. But that's the worst thing that ever happened to that car. Well, I had to put a clutch in it, but clutch is kind of like doing brakes. When you have a manual transmission, the clutch at some point is gonna, it's gonna wear out.
Olive says the PT Cruiser was heavy and underpowered, underbraked. Yes, it was an economy car, not a performance car. It was just a get arounder. It was a grocery getter, mom and popper, but it was also very economically priced. It was for the market that they were trying to serve. I think it was a good offering. But maybe it wasn't anything like super lovable or extraordinary. It was very, I never even owned one, so I shouldn't probably say too much about it.
Yeah, I was pretty sad.
I saw them around.
My kid totaled it, so that was.
Yeah, it was.
That was the end of it.
And he could have had one, but he wanted a Fox Buddy Mustang, and we got a Fox Buddy Mustang.
Well, now to buy one now, it's just yeah, I want a rear drive car, that's a little front drive. I had them, it's like, that wasn't going to fit what I wanted this time. I want something I can run at No Name Nationals and something that I really like those cars. So I wanted one and I got it. 57 Fords actually outsold 57 Chevys. That they did. 57 Ford was pretty good. What was this? Everything went like clockwork on the PTs. I don't know. My experience of the PT Cruiser was a good, solid car. And the young kids hated it. I was just a stupid old man that bought a stupid car. But man, I ran that thing and ran it and ran it and ran it. And there was an airplane I was working on. If I put the back seat down and the seat on the passenger seat up front, I could get the airplane wing in there and close the door in the back. I thought that was pretty funny. I remember going through the Border Patrol inspection out in Arizona, and they knew me because I go through there every day. They come out there and they go, "What's that contraption?" And all the officers came out and had to look at the wing inside the PT Cruiser. Couldn't believe I had that in there. They were throwing away. It's like most cars now. I don't know. It's like all this hate for the PT Cruiser. I never got it. I think most of the people that hated the PT Cruiser never owned one. That's my opinion. My dad always said it's the last year Ford outsold Chevy. I think you're right. There's got to be out 5 or 6 neons left in Australia. Crusher fodder. Yeah, the neons were the early. There were 2 generations of neons here. I don't know about Australia. The first one didn't have any. There were no rims around the rims around the windows. You could break into one real easy. You just take anything and go in there and unlock the door and get into them. And they were. I wouldn't want to roll over in one. The second generation had stouter A and B pillars, but the PT Cruiser was like, to me, the PT Cruiser was the best neon there was. I just can't think of any great modern cars today. All junk, just Hellcats. Yeah, maybe the Hellcat. Yeah, you know that's a car that might be that some people may like someday. The 56 F100. So that's another one. A lot of people like the 56 F100. And see, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. I like the 57, that body style better, but a lot of people like the 53 through 56. And the 56 was different. It was the same body, but the windshield wrapped around on the 56. 56 was like a very upgraded 50, 53 through 55. Gearhead, but they're bricks. I don't know what that is. What's it like? 57 Golden Hawk is mine, followed by closely by 59 Rambler. I didn't like those old Ramblers. I don't like those old Ramblers. Uh, our Ford Mustang's okay. Yeah, I opened the hood on a new car and I'm just like, oh my God, what is that? It's just staggering what's under the hood. Uh, Man, the 50s. There were a lot of good 50s cars. I'm trying to think what I liked 56 Fords too. 56 was really big deal because a lot of cars went to the 12-volt systems, and the 6-volt systems I never really liked. Although the 55 Plymouth, I really liked it, but I think it was still 6-volt. I don't know. When did Plymouth go to the 12-volt? I don't know. May have been 55. I don't know. 55 Plymouth was an odd one because it was the only year that it had a gear shift for the automatic that came up out of the dash, and 54 did not. 55 was coming out of the dash. I liked that lever, and 56 it went to the push buttons. Also is an ex of mine. We're looking at them, but the year we were looking at didn't have power, mileage, enough brakes. Said X. The new ones were improved. I'm not sure what car that was.
Probably the PT Cruiser.
The PT Cruiser?
Yeah, I think so. Mike N suggests perhaps the Chrysler Crossfire. I like how they looked with the rear retractable wing.
We have one of those.
We have what's left of one of those. I think
she bought one that had been in a major fire.
I think that there will be people who like them, but I don't know that they'll be like widely recognized or appreciated. Yeah, I think they'll be in the same category as a antique Mercedes at some point, because that's their family tree, and I don't. I
think it's it's kind of one of those cult cars. I knew a guy out in Arizona, and he had a couple of Crossfires, and he just loved those things. So
there's so much electronics, it's hard to foresee. And the other thing is that the drivetrain is kind of unique. It's a very short window that drivetrain was used, and I don't know that it's like super, super loved. And it's difficult to see the future. All right, guys, we're an hour in.
You got to take a break.
No, I just want to get a warm up on my cup of coffee. So I'm
Okay.
going to go grind some water, and he is going to carry you through for a few minutes. Guys, don't bombard him with too much chat all at once.
Oh
He'll
no,
get
no,
overwhelmed.
you can chat all you want.
But you can talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves.
Tavo says I owned a P76. I'm not sure what that is, and it was an exceptionally good car compared to its competition from GM, Ford, and Chrysler. P76. Gonna have to figure out when Kim gets back. We'll have her look up P76. What it's like. C8 Corvette looks cool. Can't see out the rear though. I haven't been in one. It's the only Corvette I haven't driven is the C8. I've driven every other generation. I like the styling of the iconic 6, but it would be more appealing if it came in hybrid. I wouldn't buy one for 10 years. The newest car I owned was a 2016. That's the newest car I've owned. It was a 2016. It was a Mazda. The SRT Crossfire is actually pretty cool, says Olive. Tavo, I wonder if Ford turned to Ford Australia when they made the Ranchero. We had Ford Utes since day dot, including 50s models. Yeah, you know they must have, because the Ford up here, the Ranchero, came out in 57. What it's like, Crossfires are cool. Yeah, we've got one here, but the interior's all burnt out on it. But it's got a lot of good parts. Well, we pulled the rear end out of it and narrowed it, which was quite a project. And we'll probably eventually put that rear end under a Dart or a Valiant. Two hacks. What's your memories of motion? Patrick Sullivan, I'm somewhat of a youngster, 58. Yeah, you're one of the young guys. But 58 T-Bird was the first big bird that came out. It was the first four-seater, and I really liked the square birds, 58 through 60. Of course, I like the 55 through 7 as well. But I like the square birds, and a lot of people don't. But I think they're pretty cool cars. Just hard to find good ones anymore. Man, I found one in Las Vegas when I was in Arizona. I was going to go up there and get it. And the guy said it was always been in Las Vegas, no rust and everything. Had him send me a couple pictures underneath. That car was so rusty underneath. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. It was destroyed underneath. So I don't know where that car had been. Not Las Vegas. He just didn't tell the truth. Chevy coming out with a 2025 Camaro. I keep seeing stuff about it. Yeah, I mean, I see all this stuff. There's somebody putting out all these videos with 2025 cars that are just some kind of AI crap. JB, not to mention the wiring insulation is made of soy rodent. Man, do they. Yeah, I got a mouse trap set, but can't catch any mice. I ought to probably put some wire in there. Put a piece of insulated wire in the mouse trap and see if I can get the mice. Patrick was a little kid. The guy I built my dragster with raced there all the time in many. Okay, they're talking about. Man, I got hiccups. Drag strips up there in northern Illinois, maybe central Illinois. The wires are soybeans insulation. Mice eat it like candy. Yeah, we got mice in one of our ground stations out there in the test site, and they chewed up. They made a mess.
The Dodges are like that.
We couldn't fly. I've had them get up inside airplanes that we just put wiring harness in, and one night they chewed it all up. Grampito, I've got a 2018 Kia Soul because of my wife. She liked the hamsters shaking their heads.
That was their whole advertising thing.
Oh.
They had these big hamsters driving around in the Kia Soul. That was a unique advertising campaign, and I think it did. I think a lot of people would like it. I thought it was. I thought it was clever. I kind of wanted one, but not really. But kind of. But I had a problem with Kia. I won't repeat, but I had a really bad problem with warranty issues with the Kias for a while, and I would never buy another Kia, but that was years ago, and I just have a resentment.
All says, I like the little Tri-5 T-Birds. Yeah, 55, 6, and 7 Thunderbird's pretty cool. What it's like says Bullet Bird. Bullet Bird. Which one is the Bullet Bird? What is that? The 61, 2, and 3? I'm trying to remember. They had all these names for them. And like the... Oh, well, we know what that is.
I know, but we're showing a picture because that's what we do.
But I want to know what Bullet Bird is.
I will look it up.
Next, okay.
Is that a 57?
Yeah, those are 57s. Got blue one up there. That's pretty cool looking one, that 57. A light blue one in the upper left-hand corner.
This one?
Yeah, I think that's a nice looking car.
Absolutely. That's a lovely
car. And they were nice to drive, but then they got really expensive, although the prices come down.
Were they all convertibles?
They're removable hardtops. And you could get a convertible top as well.
I think Bird is just another way of saying Thunderbird, because these are all Thunderbirds too.
Well, get 57 out of there and put just Bullet Bird, because I think that's a... See, there were Thunderbirds. Yeah, the Bullet Bird was the 61, 2, and 3, that body style. That's what I thought.
Oh, I see. I'm going to show them so they can see what we see.
And then the Square Bird was the 58, 9, and 60. That's the Bullet Bird he's talking about.
I see.
Yeah, and of the Bullet Birds, I like the 63, like just above your head, because it had those little hash marks on the door. And I think the 61 and 2 look kind of plain without it, but that's just my opinion. There's a Square Bird, which is 58, 9, and 60. And of the three of them, I like the 50. I don't know. I don't like the 58 a lot, because the 58 had a suspension that was a 1-year suspension with coil springs in the back. And then they went back to the leaves again, and I kind of like that. I think I like the 59 because of the grill. John Bossum's. Did you ever have a car with a push-button transmission? Yes. 63 Plymouth. What else? It seems so natural then, because when I got my driver's license in 1970, just about every Chrysler product that I ever drove had a push-button automatic. Just that's the way they were. And park had a lever, so you pull the park lever down, pull this lever down, and that would take it out of any gear it was in, push all the buttons out. You pull the lever back up and push the button you want. I don't know, it just seemed normal. And then they went away from it. When did they go away from that? 1965, I think. Maybe
what, the
64?
push-button
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember 64 or 5. But they were, I got my driver's license in 1970, so any car I drove was not brand new. Vic, after driving that Kia and me beating the brakes off that pig for the last 3 years, mine must have been built on Wednesday. The hangover must have been gone.
Oh, they were in full stride by Wednesday, and they put it together right.
Mike N says, no, bullet nose T-Bird. Well, the names of the T-Birds were, I think, the two-seat, which I don't remember what the slang for that was. Then there was a Square Bird. Then the Bullet Bird, which was these. And then what was the one after that? The 1964, 5, and 6. There was a slang name for that, too. I can't think of what it was.
What was... Okay.
My mom had a Rambler with a push-button transmission. Really? I kind of forgotten about that, but I guess you're right. What it's like... I was in a Flare Bird earlier today. Okay, the Flare Bird was the 64, 65, and 66. See, I was in 4th grade when the 64 came out. Man, I thought that was the coolest thing. And then when 65 came out, it had the sequential turn signals. You know, the turn signal went. I thought that was the thing, man. Yeah, I forgot that's what it was called, was the flare bird. Yeah, there's a flare bird. 64 through 6.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, the one on the red one above your head is a 64. It's got like a little T-bird emblem, like a stretched out T-bird emblem in the taillight. And the white one over there, yeah, see how the taillights look there? They just flash like any taillights do. And then the one you had there, that white one, see it's segments. And those segments are the first car that had the sequential turn signals.
Oh, I see.
Well, the flare birds, I like those, but they were big, heavy cars. And of course, I was in fourth grade, so that was I didn't understand the size and the heft of those cars and everything. But that Thunderbirds, every 3 years they changed the body style on the Thunderbirds, and they got heavier and heavier. And I'd say 64, 5, and 6. I remember there was a guy I knew, a man who was, you know, was a crank grinder in town. He didn't like them. He said, they're getting too big and heavy. But I didn't understand that. I thought they looked pretty good. But yeah, they were starting to get big and heavy. Computer, I had a 91 T-Bird LX Sport Black on black 5.0 HO. See what a 91 looks like. A 91 Thunderbird? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, isn't
Chris,
that the kind that Dallas Brown
that's what
used?
I'm thinking. It's like Dallas's race car. I think his is an 89, but that would be probably the same body. Because see, and then there weren't any T-Birds for a while until they came out with this second generation of the two-seater, which was like in '02, I think. See, when I was looking for a car, I was looking at those '02, 3, and 4 T-Birds, but oh yeah, look at that. Man, I like that body style too. I like that a lot. But, you know, look at that.
Eh,
Look at that blue one there. I did look at some of those. Remember, there was one in Georgia that I was looking at that was that body style. And it was one of the cars that was on my short list just before I bought the car that I have. Um, let's see. I'm Chris. My dad drove a Valiant as a MP. MP. Military police? I'm not sure what that is. 300 tree would bind up. The only 300 trees I ever had that bound up were just about every Chevrolet of the late 50s and early 60s. Man, they get stuck in the neutral position, and they were like in 2 gears, so the car wouldn't go, and you had to get up under the hood
ooh.
and mess with it. I had a lot of problems with that, and yep, 50s. Blue Grit, was there a 50s car that had a band clamp around the drive shaft apart? Yes. Chrysler products all had a drum brake on the back of the transmission,
Well, that's not a band
but it's
clamp.
not a band clamp. It was it was internal that went out. Some of
I
the
don't know of any
60s to
band clamp
70s birds
cars.
got some of the 60s to 70s bird got ugly. Edsels had the push button in the middle of the steering wheel. They did. First year, 1958. It's 1 year.
Oh, well, we got to see that. What year?
1958 Edsel steering wheel. I have those sequential lights on my Demon.
Oh,
Demon.
there it is. I've never seen
You've
that.
never seen that?
No, that's new and unique to me.
Oh yeah, and that didn't turn. The steering wheel turned under that, so those set still. And yeah, you push the middle of the
Oh,
steering wheel if that
wow.
isn't stupid. What
That's
was the name for those late '70s birds, turd birds? I don't know. We'll have to look up what all the oh, look at this. Look at the speedometer. It was looked like a compass that turned like this,
oh,
and the needle
wow.
set still. See, in 1958, I was 59 really is when I started understanding cars. And I looked inside one of those. I thought that was the coolest thing I ever saw, but it looks pretty stupid now.
It looks it's It's futuristic.
Yeah, fun, fun, fun till Daddy takes the T-Bird away. I always like the horseshoe shifters. The horseshoe shifters, yeah.
What's the horseshoe shifter
Well, it's
mean?
a shifter that goes like this, and there has a thing, and it's got two blades that go down, and it's on the console.
Oh yeah.
You remember those? They were probably General Motors cars. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look it up because I can't think of I've never seen anything factory that was like that.
Dad bought a late 70 cent worth of paint come off and turn the water red when he washed it. He returned it. Really? Yeah, Edsel used electric push buttons. Yeah, that was an electric thing. That was they had some problems with that.
Horseshoe shifter. There it is, a console with a horseshoe shifter.
Oh yeah, it was the Camaros had those, and then El Caminos. Yeah, I thought it was General Motors had them mostly.
There it is.
I think I. Geez, my Monte Carlo. No, my Monte Carlo had a column shift. I think. I know I had cars that had those. I just can't think of which ones they were right
I've
now.
never seen something like that in a car for real. Like it doesn't seem like that out there, but I've just never seen a car with one.
Well, I know my '67 Camaro had a power glide on the column and a bench seat, which seems so weird in a Camaro. And then my '69 Camaro had a uh, 3-speed on the floor. It was just that car had one option. I think it was a AM radio. It's 3-speed on the floor. Oh, and it had a 307 because I guess that was the option, another option because they had uh, they had an inline 6-cylinder as the standard engine. That wheel on a plow truck would be crazy. Dean Stevenson's here.
Welcome to the stream, Dean Stevenson.
Jay, kind of
Glad
like
to have you.
Astro Cruise, meet the Jetsons. In 92, I had a 78 T-Bird. 93, I had a 79 Cougar. In 94, I had a 79 Lincoln Continental Mark V Bill Blast Signature Edition. And they were pretty much the same car. Yeah, Gearhead says, yeah, GM cars. Oh, they had the horseshoe shifters on some first-gen Camaros and some recent ones. Cruise, I think 70 Le Mans has that shifter. Could be. Can you look up something for me, but it won't be a picture? Just look up Thunderbird nicknames or something like that. John Boston Spuff, how many cars do you think you've owned? 70 something. I kind of lost track. I'd have to.
Little Bird, Square Bird, Big Bird, and T Bird.
Okay. All that stupid AI thing, they don't tell what all of them are. Okay, there you go, right there. They're all listed right
Bullet
there.
Bird, Flare Bird, Glamour Bird, Torino Bird, Box Bird, Arrow Bird, Super Bird, Retro Bird.
There you go. Okay, so somebody's talking about the Bullet Bird is 61 through 3. Flare Bird. Glamour Bird. I didn't know that was a Glamour Bird.
Glamour Bird.
I like the looks of the Glamour Bird. The
Glamour Bird.
The 67. When the 67 came out, I was in 7th grade. And I remember going to the Ford dealer and they came out with the 4-door Thunderbird with the what do you call them? The backwards doors. The suicide doors. I think that was a pretty nice car. They did that for 5 years. The suicide door, 4 doors. Chris, 427 inline 6. What's that? I'm not sure what that is.
That sounds like a truck motor.
I have no idea what that is. Hey, you know what? I haven't been showing pictures. We said 1966. Okay, when you're...
I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, let's see if we can... Oh, you're going to scroll down to where it was, maybe. Oops. Where'd it go? Oh, it's down further. Nope.
What are we looking? What do
Oh,
you?
I don't know. I was looking for. I don't know. What are you? I'm not sure what you're looking for.
I don't know either.
Vision
All
name for
right.
the Camaro was the XP 836, then Panther. Man, it was. I remember. I remember all the magazines were calling it the Panther, and then it came out, and it was the Camaro. Uh, Grand Pepito or Grand Pito Vic. I got that backwards. Have a great night, everyone. 4:30 Eastern Time comes stupid early. Yep.
Thanks for being here. We'll see you again next time.
Okay, I'm going to start showing a couple of 57 cars because we wanted to do that. Here's 57 Fords coming down the assembly line. Whoops, that got big. Okay, what can I do to fix that? There we go. Assembly line, 1957 Fords. Oh, Continental 6427B is a model. Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, let's see, more 57s. Man, I really dropped the ball on the 57s here.
John Bossum's asked, that's all right. We don't have to always be about the 57s. But John Bossum asked, Buff, how many cars do you think you have owned?
I just answered that.
Oh, you did? How
Yeah,
many did you say?
I said 70 something. I kind of lost track toward the end. I could
I don't
probably
believe that. It's probably way more.
no, it's only 70 something. I don't know. I had this great list on paper.
Shit, we own 15 right now.
And you know how no, those a lot of those are yours. But you know how paper is. I hate paper. Files are so nice because you can duplicate them and I can go to several different places and find the same files. So somewhere I have a list on a computer of all the cars I owned, the best I could remember because I lost the stupid piece of paper. Paper, you know.
I'll have to make you do it again.
Yeah, and man, the memory's getting kind of foggy, you know. Okay, so there's a 57 Cadillac. Looks like it says Hudson Cadillac and Hudson dealer. What's this thing? That's a 57 Plymouth being built.
It says low line operation on body number 1. Photo number 5 from March 21st of 1957. Who sent this picture in?
This is JB.
Thank you for sending in pictures, JB. I like the old factory pictures and the old dealer pictures. I enjoy that part.
That's why I'm showing them because yeah, it's JB sent them in. Buddy Carfano sent out a load of pictures too. I haven't got it because I just kind of dropped the ball with the pictures tonight. What is this one? That's a was it a Dodge or a Plymouth? I can't tell what it is because there's no nose on it. Can you see the tail end of it? I don't know.
I don't know, but it says instrument panel installation in Perma. April of 1957.
Man, can you believe that? Oh.
This is the part where they install the car to the heater core.
Yeah, back then you get the heater cores out of. What is that?
That's where they're ready to install the heater core. Then
Look
they
at
put
this.
everything else on top of it.
Caster camber setting fixture. Can you believe that?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's before you get all the body work around it. You can get it everything. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh wow, chat just stopped. Are we still live?
I hope so.
Oh,
no, there we go.
No,
John Buff, you need to do a short. You need to do a short on keeping your car purchases in order. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I need to. I could probably make a new list and probably get it all right over a period of a week or two, and then I'd have the list back again. Yeah, you know, that's what I thought. I thought it had disc brakes, but then looking at it again, I think those are drums. Because that was my first reaction was, I think those are discs. But I
No,
don't
those
think
are
they are.
drums.
Those
That's
are
drums.
drums. Then I thought, they are drums. Because that was my first reaction. What is that? Oh, that's 57 Ford. Oh, that's one of those goofy hardtop, retractable hardtops. A lot of people like those. I think they're ugly, ugly, ugly. But I don't know. It's a collectible because they made so few of them. But the top's really short and the tail end's really long, and they look kind of funny to me. Oh, what's the next one here? Here's another one.
I wonder if that's people in the cars or if those are like cutouts or something. It almost looks like cutouts.
Put mannequins in there.
Doesn't it look like maybe? Maybe it's just low detail.
Say JB inches, feet, and proper US gallons. I don't know what that's about. Johnny C., I found an old discarded library book years ago, How a Car is Made. It shows the creation of the 57 Ford. It was geared toward children. I still have it. You know, when I was a kid, my parents had some books that came with an encyclopedia, but it was not the encyclopedia. It was like books for kids. And in there, it was 1959 they got those, and there was a picture in there of a 59 Ford, green one, coming down the assembly line, and it was from the firewall back, had the frame and the engine on it, and they were lowering the front clip onto it, and there were guys standing there guiding that front clip on. And I remember looking at that picture so many times, and I have no idea what happened to those books. I don't know what's going on in those 57 Ford headlights. Oh, what did I miss? Oh yeah, the Sport hardtop. That's the one that four-door hardtop. No B pillar.
Oh, that is a four-door.
It's a four-door
From that
hardtop.
angle, I just thought it was a two-door, but I see it now. I see the handles.
Yeah, I noticed this. Christmas says looks like that black car is chalked in
Yeah,
back.
zoom back out a little bit.
I noticed the.
It's some kind of display.
It's a
And they have it
display.
chalked there. That's why I said it looks like there's mannequins in the car.
Yeah, it could very well be.
Yeah, and look at the lights up above. It looks like
Crash.
it's maybe in a convention center.
I don't think they're crash test dummies. I remember the first crash test that General Motors did, they didn't have any dummies. They had an engineer that volunteered to ride in the cars. And he'd get hurt a little bit sometimes, but mostly he just rode through all the crashes. And there was stories about him on the internet years later. And then they got the crash dummies. But I think it's pretty funny. An engineer rode through the crashes. That's crazy.
I mean, that really puts the burden on one person, a lot of burden.
Oh,
but you'd take your job really seriously if you were like, yeah, now driving into a wall at 20 miles an hour. You'd be like, well, wait a minute.
well, yeah, I don't think
Did we do this right?
I don't think they did any like 70-mile-an-hour impacts.
Yeah,
I think
no.
they did some crashes, you know.
Oh, by the way, if you guys find any vintage crash test stuff on cars, that especially if it's specific about the year that we're going to talk about that week, that would be cool to see. Vintage crash test photos or footage.
Oh, guess what? Here we are. We were talking about this car earlier, and Buddy Carafano sent it in.
Oh, okay, wait. This is
57 Golden Hawk.
I got to use the other screen for this.
Oh.
And I got to get my
It's a 57 Golden Hawk. That's a car we were talking all about, and Buddy Carafano had already sent.
He'd already sent it.
He'd already sent it in like days ago. My head's in the way of the license plate, but the license plate doesn't exist.
Sullivan says Dan may have converted that four-door to a two-door. Dan converts all of the Chevys.
You know, that's how I found him. I found him. He was still a small channel, and I see this guy converting a four-door to a two-door, and he was the first guy that I that I saw that understood that it's a different door. It's a long door, you know. And he used Pontiac doors on it, which are the same doors. The chrome trim's different. And I thought that was really cool. And I subbed to his channel as soon as I saw him doing that because I thought it was pretty cool. Here's one that, oh God, I was going to do this and I forgot. Oh, here it is. This is the picture I said we had to go get. And Buddy Carfano sent it in. That's in Clarksville, Tennessee, right up here in town.
Yeah, we drive that past that on a regular basis. It's sitting out front of a funeral home. And yeah, we see it all the time. So thank you for sending that in. Did you know that was from Clarksville? I think everyone in Clarksville probably knows where that car is sitting. Like if you said, the funeral home with the red ambulance, they would be like, oh yeah.
There's the place on the right, just past that, where it's, I don't know what they call it. Everybody else would call it the DMV. It's a license place where you get all your license plates and stuff. So every time we go there, because we've got all these cars and we got to get our license plates, we drive by that thing and it's like, hey, there it is. So we see it a lot. Dougster, mid-50s GM station wagon bodies were made probably by Ona Manufacturing. They were made in-house and were 100% complete minus frame and front clip. Saying Ona Manufacturing stamp metal tag and passenger door jamb. Indirect. Somebody new here. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. Yes, on YouTube, there's even 70s and 80s crash tests with real driver in it. Yeah, we got to go look for that. Dean Stevenson, I own a slice of GM. I understand. I own a slice of GM. What it's like, that's a color combo I would want. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, which one was that? Which color combo was that?
Well, it's either this one or the one before it.
What was the one before it? That was the, oh heck, I don't know what it was. Oh, what did I do?
I don't know. You're making a mess.
I'm making a mess out of it.
That's all right. We're going to have to move on. Teal and white. It was a teal and white car.
Yeah, I got it. Can't find my cursor.
KJ Kiley says, I want to see DD Speed Shop convert a 2-door into a 4-door. Then I'll be really impressed. How are you going to do that? Where are you going to get the extra doors?
You have to shorten the door. Oh, here we go. Buddy Carfano with the 57 Plymouth.
Oh, my.
Look at that big, long top, and it's a hard top. Is that a 57 or is that a 58? I think that's a 58.
Oh, what it's like the Golden Hawk with the color.
Oh, okay. Terry Mott. I did 20 months nearby long ago at Fort Campbell. Oh, yeah, that's Fort Campbell's. That's why I moved here. Because my son was stationed at Fort Campbell, and I'd had enough of Ohio and the cold white north for 15 years, and I said, I'll find a job doing something. And I moved down here because my son was going to be here. And, wow, you did 20 months here. Terry Mott, new here. Good evening. What it's like, Golden Hawk in black and white. Oh, I see. GB 1957. Are you sure that's a 57? It could be.
A bunch of people say it's a 50.
Look up. Yeah, but what's the
V is on the grill in 58. Well, you can't see the V is on the grill in 58, but it's on the side, so it's a 57. There was a band called Crash Test Dummies. Blue Grid, I don't know that they did any crashing videos, though. Maybe they did.
Yeah, Dr. Ghost says saw some black and white movies of Mercedes-Benz crash tests with real people. They're crazy. Sure looks like Christine to me. Beyond the Grill is 58. Oh. Can you pull up 58 Plymouth?
Yes.
Plymouth Bury, 1958. I want to see what the chrome looks like on the side. Because the 57 and 58 were different. And my memory is not as good as it could be.
That's not me. That's you
not
still. Too many buttons. Jeez.
58 Plymouth Fury. See, that's the chrome from 58. Okay, look up 57 Fury. I know the difference if I can see the grill on the front, but I don't know the difference from the side. Oh, you know what? They're right. They're right. That is a 57. Okay.
All right, JB and Diabolical 58, who said that it was a 57, you're both awarded 2 points. And because you're right. And because you knew why. JB knew why.
See, on the front, I know the difference because see the one that says auction 57 Plymouth. See where the license plate is down there. There's those vertical bars that are in the roll pan underneath. And in 58, they had grill bars that went horizontally, like the grill up above. And in 58, they had quad headlights. In 57, they had what looks like quad headlights, but it isn't. It's a turn signal and a headlight. So from the front end, I know the difference, but from the side, I didn't. And the other thing in 57 is the full-length taillight going all the way to the tip of the fin. Diabolical 58. I have 58, and I know these cars well. Oh, those are 57 hubcaps, too. That's a mechanical hole. Bumperette. Yeah, I like the 57 better just because of the taillights. So I thought the 58, when they put the taillight down below, I thought taillight should be in the fin, you know. I don't know why I like that. I was a little kid then. I thought they really messed up in 58 when they put that taillight down below. Okay, so here we go. That's a 57 Oldsmobile. See, that's a four-door hardtop. There's no pillar there. That's just two windows that come together.
I like that color. The rest of the car, the styling is...
There's a big tank.
Yeah. It's cool. Dougster says 57 was a great year for American cars, period. Seems like everyone made a great looking car. I think that most people would agree with that. That you can't, in 57, if you had a row of every kind of 1950, you couldn't, fall down and not run into something cool. They just, the styling and everything, it was just, they knew what they liked. They really went for it. They were big cars, though. They were big, heavy cars. Like, I don't know that they are the most desirable things to drive. What was the handling like from cars from 57?
The big pigs.
Yeah.
Oh, some of them were okay. Like a 57 Ford, it drove kind of like how cars handled them. But something like this, man, you go around a corner in a hurry, it just tires roll under the hubcaps and fly off and everything. What's this? Patrick Sullivan says, sure, that's a 57. I would call it a 58. I'm not sure which car that was. Boat anchor CB repair. Did the 57 Bel Air Nomad tailgate fold down or open sideways? It folded down. Had a button in the middle, vertical, and it folded down. What's Kim's favorite era of cars?
I like the early 70s.
Early 70s.
69, 70, 71, 72.
Of what?
Everything.
Everything, really.
I really dig the cars that they were making. Now, my 66, I really like it. But if you had to tell me you were going to pick a car from an era and I had to decide if I was going to like it, I guess late 60s, early 70s is, I don't know how many years can I pick?
Okay.
But that's the stuff I like working on too, because there's good stuff and the styling I like, and there's not too complicated.
I just killed whatever it was. 57 Oldsmobile. I think this is the one there's some question about. If it's a 50, is this one you're talking about? You think it's a 58? Patrick Sullivan. Sure, it's a 57. I would surely call it a 58. Is that the one you're talking about, Patrick? What year was the Chrysler Norseman? 57. Wasn't the Norseman wasn't that just what would they call it, a concept car?
Oh, I don't know. I'll type it in.
Oh, Gearhead says 72 split bumper Camaro. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Dougster's got to go. Take care. Patrick Sullivan, yes. Okay, once you find that, before you do that, I know you're going to do that. Can you keep that there? But first get a 58 Oldsmobile, because I know what a 58 looks like. And this is a 57.
We need the rear end now.
Yeah, rear end, right there. You got it. So here's a 58. And a 58 was really different in the back. It had all that chrome, that crazy chrome, swooping back from the headlights, and then that more chrome on the back fender. And there were people that other designers that laughed at this car so much, and they put like music, what do they call the notes on those those chrome strips in the back, because GM, the designers had some with those strips, some with the other ones and everything, and then when the head people, decision makers, put all the chrome on it, which the designers just were terrified that they did that. So then there were some designers from other companies that drew those cars and put music notes back there. So anyway, so that's a 57. The one with the music note, the music on the back is a 58. Okay, so now, oh yeah, Android. Oh yeah. Okay, so now you can go find that. Where's the one you already brought up, Kim? With the what was the one that car was called? Was the
Oh, there's not a lot of pictures of it or anything.
oh, that thing? Yeah, that thing was lost.
Lost?
Yeah, when it sunk going across the Atlantic. Yeah, it was built in Europe and at one of the places over there, and then and it never made it to the U.S. It sank on a ship. It's at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, and it was somebody here even knew the name of the ship.
SS Andrea Dora. Was it Dora the Explorer? That's hideous. No, I don't think it's hideous. Well,
Chip Foose cars? Chip Foose cars? I'm not sure what the question is there. Chip Foose cars? I like a lot of Chip Foose's cars. I think he's a talented designer. Patrick Sullivan, that's hideous. Which is hideous? All the chrome on the 58? Chip Foose should have done a version of the 57 Fury and Christine. Yeah, although Christine was a 58, but looks almost the same. Oh, Chrysler Norseman. Yeah, a 7 window. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we can make that bigger, but that thing never made it. Yeah, there's the 58.
Okay, we're back to you.
57 Amphicar. Did they make those things that long ago? Was the Amphicar in 57? I thought those were on the 60s, but I may be wrong. I worked on one of those one time. It was a, oh, Tommy Hamlin's here.
No, the Amphicar was not launched until 1961, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, see, I thought those were all early 60s. I worked on one that sank. They had two bars that came up next to the engine, or they were like sheet metal things that were braces, and they were tack welded right behind the back seat. And when those tack welds break, then water comes in there and fills the engine compartment with water. And then the guy the one I helped fix, the guy was out in the lake driving around, and they sit kind of low in the water anyway, and he didn't notice the water was going in there. until the water started going in the carburetor. They had a 6-cylinder, I think it was a Triumph inline 6-cylinder. And when the water started going in the carburetor, of course it quit, and then it sank, and he swam ashore, and then they got divers and a tow truck and dragged it back out.
That must have been.
The shop next door to me did most of the work, but I did some of the work, and we got it going again. Yes, the chrome on the 58 holes. This is a confusing stream. Yeah, we had a lot going on there. Okay, so what's next here? I gotta get back to my photos.
Tommy Hanlon says, hello from Dublin. Welcome to the stream, Tommy. I will bring up a picture of the Amphicar, though, because
here's a
so I can I've used Wikipedia to
what the hell happened?
Likely disprove.
Why did it do that?
If there was an amphibious car earlier, oh yeah, then it was called something else. Yeah, there's our citations.
Amphicar there were quite a few of them around. I mean, yeah, I remember seeing them. Not like lots of them, but I remember seeing them.
There's Lyndon B. Johnson taking a ride in an Amphicar.
And see, they set way down in the water. And you know what steers them is the front wheels would steer the front end around. And there's the gearbox. I helped work on one of those because you shift it into boat mode, and instead of the wheels turning, then there's two propellers in the back that turn. Jeez. Yeah, what a thing. Oh yeah, it says Triumph engine was state of the art in 61. Yeah, I think it was an inline 6-cylinder Triumph. Oh, model 770, because it would go 7 knots in the water and 70 miles an hour on land. I remember that now. What a crazy thing.
All right, back to Buff's photos. Your photos. If you haven't already heard, we do look at photos that people have sent to Buff Del Campo. How many emails have we been through versus how many we haven't looked at?
There's some I still haven't downloaded.
Every week we get emails filled with photos that we don't look at because we're not so good about time.
There's a lot of
like time delegation. And I think that we should at least look at a little bit from everyone.
Okay, and I have.
So just as a thank
you. Oops, I just blacked this out because I have to download Blake Gaddis. We haven't seen Blake Gaddis here tonight, have we?
There you go. Well, maybe we didn't see him at all?
Blake here?
This looks like a picture of his slant 6 powered like D100, D150, something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to download these, but I don't think he's here.
Well, move on to something else then.
Well, I'll download them so we've got them.
KJ Kiley says, don't venture far from shore in an Amphicar. Yeah, I don't think you should try to go from North America to Europe in an Amphicar. I think you're probably best. Yeah. I think that's the real problem with an amphibious car, isn't it? Is where are you going to go? Just drive around a damn lake.
Can you put I'm trying to get another picture up while we're...
The email address is buffdelcampo, the name of this channel, @gmail.com. I'll type it in so you can click on it.
Okay, I'm going to try to get some more pictures downloaded.
And so the neat thing about that is we could show the pictures. We try to also show pictures of, if you're watching or if you're going to be watching, we'll show pictures of your car or your project or something that, it doesn't have to be the year that we're talking about. But when we offer this year thing, that gives everyone the opportunity to sort of contribute something. And when we were just showing pictures of people's cars, people don't want to send the same pictures in every week, so it gets a little stale. So this gives but we absolutely would love to see your car or your project or something you used to own that you loved or have a story about, and to be able to talk about it during the stream. So that's part of our format. Oh, those are 57s. Where is that?
That looks like a Chrysler factory. They're all 57 Plymouths. Oh, there's 57 Dodges over there too on the right. So that's a Chrysler plant. Oh, and there's 57 Dodges between your ear and my ear.
Somebody knows. Whose pictures?
These are ones that JB sent in.
JB sent us so many.
Ads going.
That's okay. JB sent us a lot of pictures. Thank you, JB.
And then I think that's JB. Did JB send those in?
He sent a lot of these black and white pictures.
Yeah, I think that's. I've lost my cursor. Just a second. Yeah, it's JB sent them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of those pictures. You're right.
Well, who else? Because we're watching.
I kind of caught up. Let me see if there's more. Well, I didn't catch up because JB sent in so many of them. Oops. Is that what I wanted? No, this is what I wanted. Who asked what's the email? Diabolical 58. So I assume that's who this is. Yeah, I'd like it if you put your screen name on here so I don't announce your real name. But here we go. Okay.
Diabolical sent a picture of his 58, and the picture is before he dismantled it for paint.
Oh God! Look at that.
It does look ready to dismantle for paint. Let me make us a little smaller.
Yeah, because I can't do anything. That's bigger.
Well, we're kind of big.
I can't make that.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay. I can't move it on my side. Is all I'm saying. I can't move it on my side. See, on the 58, I said they got quad headlights, and they've got the grill down below where the license plate goes instead of those vertical bars like on the 57. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. What are those bars in there? Is that to hold something in place while you're building? What is that? I'm not sure. Row hemisphere, the Foose coupe became Plymouth Prowler. Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Oh yeah, like you said, he did that in school.
He designed it in school. Wow. And then he had it put into a production car. That's crazy.
The one where I said I had a friend that's he worked for Saab for a while, and then he worked for Honda for just about his whole career designing Hondas. And he afterwards, braces for the rotisserie. That's what I thought it was. Okay, so then after that, he went to work at the Art Center in Pasadena, teaching auto design. And I called him one time and I asked him about it. I said, man, I was watching Chip Foose last night on TV, and he was pulling molds, fiberglass molds, off of a clay model. I said, I didn't know you could do that. And he goes, oh, yeah. Oh, and his first thing he says, he goes, oh, yeah, Chip Foose, he was one of my students. I go, Chip Foose was one of your students? He goes, and this is a guy I used to sit next to in high school. And he wanted to be a car designer, and so did I, but I ended up designing airplanes, which is completely different. Oh, Blake Gaddis.
I think that's whose picture it was of his truck.
That's whose picture. Okay, so we'll put his truck up after let this Plymouth sit up there for a couple minutes.
Oh, we can go back to Blake. Okay. Blake, okay. He was painting ceilings.
Oh, so you were listening. You were just...
Yeah, give him a break. The guy needs to get back to work. Let's bring up his truck.
Okay. I'm trying to find it.
Tell us something about your truck. We're going to bring up the picture. Slow down for speed bumps. Yeah, that's the problem with low riders. You better have nice...
You have to...
nice... Why is it... I messed up. Okay. Oh, that's a lovely... What year is that? That's a really nice Dodge truck.
I like that body style.
Yeah, that's a desirable one.
Carl had one of those.
Early 70s, but...
Carl's was a one-ton dually, but it was that same front end, And I like it.
Is that the hood that's considered the bird bath hood?
That's what you called it. I'd never heard that, but it
think it
makes
is.
sense.
And then look on the fenders. It's got the turn signals up on the fenders. It is a D100.
Look what Blue Grit wrote. Oh yeah, Patrick Sullivan says bird bath hood. Yep. And then this is, oh, look at that. It's a Super 6.
That is a nice looking Super 6 build. And a 6-cylinder will get that truck around really good. Like, it really will. It's not like going to be a race truck with that 6-cylinder, but which carburetor are you running on that Super 6? It looks good. At the Tractor Supply parking lot. And there's a big factory. Look how industrial that looks. You need to get somebody to like
what?
Erase the Tractor Supply out of there, because it looks so industrial with the.
But industrial's okay.
Yeah, but the Tractor Supply kind of like.
Yeah, but the Tractor Supply, that's one of my favorite places because they got all kinds of good stuff.
It is a Carter BBD. I have about 4 of those in the garage, and none of them are any good right now. They're just old. I'm going to get me one going.
In mine, I
got sick
all that, put an adapter on it, and put a 2100 auto light on it. I like that thing. Works great on my slant.
It's a beautiful truck.
Okay, before it gets any later, before we forget, okay, I'm gonna put it out here, and I know who's gonna like grab it right away. What year? Somewhere mid-50s to 1980-ish, somewhere in there.
We did a lot of 50s.
So
the last 2 weeks in a row we did 50s. So no more 50s for a minute.
Okay, why don't you pick a year?
Me?
You haven't picked a year to do.
We know what years I like.
Well, not years, not eras.
All right, how about 71? I really like 71.
Buddy Carpano, I knew he'd be. He's just gonna pounce on there with a year.
Buddy,
but I wanted to give Kim the chance to do it this week.
I got to pick. Oh,
Patrick Sullivan says
Patrick Sullivan never got to pick before.
78. We haven't done 78 yet. B&R 61. Look at all the.
See, now everybody's trying to pick a year.
Okay, so now we have a. All of says 71's cool. Okay, this is what we'll do. Do we have something to write with? Like an old-fashioned way to write?
You know what? No. You know what? Olive said 71's okay. B&R said 71.
Oh, right. But I was going to...
Is there anyone who will be offended if we take my selection?
Can you give me something to write with? There's a big old fat pen there. I can write with that.
There's a pencil.
A pencil. Man, there's an old device.
Max Wedges here. Welcome to the stream.
So what we're going to say is, Buddy Carfano said 60. Okay, so we're doing 71. 63 the week after that.
78.
78 the week after that. And 61 the week after that. So now I have 4 weeks worth.
Woohoo!
Don't send in stuff for the weeks after that. 71's next week. Okay. So.
Oh, Dr. Goes says it's the first year of the Demon 340. Nice. Motion carried. Look at that. It was like an election.
Oh, 71 Thunderbird. 71 Thunderbird. I didn't really like the beak on the front, but I sure liked 4-door Thunderbirds, and that was the last year for them. Oh, I like 71 Thunderbirds. A beak is a little bit of an overkill, but yeah.
Blake is giving us more information about his truck. He says it's an actual Super 6 carb, and there is a difference. The jets and rods and everything are different than the V8 version. And then he says he built the dual snorkel breather for it, and that the truck was a military truck originally.
See, I was wondering about. I saw that dual snorkel air cleaner, and I thought, what the heck? Is that what they had? And then I looked at the decal on it, and I thought, well, I guess maybe they did.
Well, you can get
but you know what? He did that. That's
you can
great.
get the decal reproduction. Actually, it's really easy to get. But the dual snorkel is full custom. Nicely done. And I see he's got the crinkle paint on the valve cover. And yeah, keep him going.
Bunky Knudsen, yeah, he's the one that put the beak on there. And I have pictures of I've got them somewhere. I don't have them right. I don't think I have them right here. What the 70 and 71 Thunderbird was supposed to look like. And they stopped it, and Bunky Knudsen redid that. Oh, I don't know if I have that here. I may have it.
Max Wedge says he had a 71 green 446 pack 4-speed shaker hood RT Challenger. All right, rub it in there. I'll never have one of those. Shoot.
That's a good green.
That's
a good green.
Man, but that's like... Whew.
Man, I bet I won't be able to find that.
Tavo says 71 was a year of something special down there. 71 was a good year for cars too. Yes, there's going to be some really good ones.
Well, you know what? I'll find it for next week then.
What's that?
What the 71 Thunderbird was supposed to be like before Bunky Knudsen got into it. Well, it was actually Bunky Knudsen and Larry Shinoda that did that.
Tommy Hanlon asks, do you have Jaffa cakes in America? I've never seen them. We probably could get them.
What is it?
Jaffa cakes. I don't know. I think cakes are some kind of cookie.
Can you?
Oh, look it up.
Look it up.
All right.
Yeah, because when I was in England, which I know is different than Ireland, but when I was in England, they had biscuits, but biscuits.
Why is this so big?
Cookies, Jaffa cakes. Never seen them.
Walmart sells them. Oh. So we got them here.
We got them. We just don't know where they are.
We're just not familiar with them. Named after Jaffa oranges. Are they orange flavored? Are they an orange flavored cookie? My mother used to make orange flavored cookies. What were they called?
What's this? Max Wedge says, I traded a 200 Mustang and $200 for it. What was that for? What did
2000 Mustang and $200 for it?
Oh, here it goes. Dick Dashley, I had a 71 green 446 pack 4-speed shaker, and later he says I traded 200 Mustang and $200 for it.
200 Mustangs? Yeah, I'd do it for 200 Mustangs.
Yeah, my car has a 200 in it. Not my favorite engine, but it's not bad. I could turbo that thing and probably go okay. I think Kim's going to commandeer my turbo.
Yes. You know what, though? We got to get the engine in the car. I can't do the turbo. I really wanted to. We farted with it that one night when it was too cold, but we've made the decision. We put the cam in the car. We didn't talk about it at all.
No, I was gonna talk about it, and you said no. So I
wasn't in the mood to talk about it. Are you okay to talk about it now?
Yeah. So everybody remembers, I think, or most people are here, remember that we had the problem with cam. So then we talked to Shane, Slant Daily Garage, and he's an engineer for Comp Cams and Edelbrock, same company, and he was going to do a cam for us, and we were going to use the new. Got more people coming in.
Things are going well. Welcome, Mike Murphy.
So we were going to do the new cam, a custom ground cam, and the DLC lifters. Well, the DLC lifters for the slant are not going to be available till
April. They're back
April,
ordered
because he says they're already stacked up the orders. He goes, Chevys come first, then Fords, then Chryslers, V8s, and then what was next? Oh, then the Pontiac Buick Olds, then the slants. Okay, so we're not going to be able to get the lifters, and then he's swamped because he took time off at Christmas and New Year's. So of course he gets back. They're swamped, so you can't even get to the cam. So Kim had already ordered a cam.
We already have a cam sitting there on the
So we decided it's a stock cam.
Yeah.
A stock cam made by
Melling. Yeah.
So we decided to put the stock cam in it. So we did that. It's got the stock cam in it, but that's as far as we got. The cam and lifters are in there, but
it was really cold, and he couldn't handle it, so we had to stop.
I got to get up for a minute. We're gonna do a live unboxing.
A live unboxing?
A live unboxing.
Oh, okay. Blue Grit says Bunky was responsible for making the 71 through 73 Mustang getting so large. He thought making cars larger made it look like you were getting more for your money. Well, yeah, I could probably.
The 71 through 73 Mustang is the one I call the aircraft carrier. Because when you're sitting there looking over the hood, looks like you're looking at the deck of an aircraft.
Okay, do you want us to be big so we could...
Oh, yeah. Put us up here big.
Whoop,
make us big.
There we
go. Okay, so I'm going to...
Do you want...
Oh, I'll pick it up. So because what do we see here? It says...
B&R says use braking...
Yeah, braking oil, Lucas braking oil, available, all this stuff. Okay, so I'm doing...
30 because it's cold.
I'm doing an unboxing because we got this box just before the live stream. And here we go. This is stuff I use, and I've used it before. And that is what we're going to use on the slant, is this stuff that is meant for that. So that's what I used on my slant. That's what we use on her slant. And of course, we use the lube that comes with the assembly lube that comes with the cam and the lifters. So that's all on the lobes.
Yeah, the high zinc assembly lube that came with Melling. And we asked Professor P, he said the Melling would probably be a good stock replacement piece. Made in Mexico with July of 2024 date
I want to get that
information on it. So it's new enough that they were aware that there was problems with the Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
And it's unlikely that they were boxing and sending out stuff that was not right. And we did our best to make measurements, but we don't have super precision. We don't have any precision cam measuring stuff.
Okay, we did a bunch of video, B-roll, just taking pictures of while we're working. So I probably got hours of video, and we'll condense that down to, I don't know, 30 minutes or something, and we'll publish a video of the
that'll come out on his channel later this week.
Yeah, we'll get that done, and it'll be how we measured the cam to make sure that it was going to work, and how we tested it, and so forth. And it's pretty interesting. Danny Boyd says zinc with a K.
Tommy Hanlon says Jaffas are dark chocolate on sponge with orange flavored jelly filling, and I've eaten a whole pack by myself. I believe it. That's like Girl Scout cookies. You could just sit there and eat the whole pack if you allow yourself to do that. Although, if I eat that much sugar in one sitting, I'll have a headache.
When I worked up in Maryland, and I guess when I was in Arizona, there was a guy I worked with. There's a guy I worked with, and he had two daughters, younger daughters, and they were both always selling every year Girl Scout cookies. So he'd come into work, and we'd all sign up for Girl Scout cookies, and then we'd get them. And you think I could, I'm not even supposed to be eating any Girl Scout cookies, and I'd get a couple boxes, kind of support his kids, and those would be gone in 20 minutes. It was terrible. The other thing I do that with, how many of you can eat like one or two Oreos? Any of you know what Oreo? I'm sure the people in the U.S. will know what Oreos are, probably worldwide. But if I open up Oreos, I'll eat like grab 4 of them and then grab another 4. Another pretty soon it's like the the pack's empty. Where'd all those go? My blood sugar's like 500 or something.
38 Racing says, I've used John Deere break-in oils with pretty good success. That's interesting because I'll bet you that John Deere is using, it's off-road, so there's no catalytic converters. And then they're probably using flat tappet cams in a lot of the old tractors. So I wonder if that's, boy, you really got to know what you're doing because you don't want to put oil that's too heavy or too light in your vehicle because the ports and the everything's timed and sized to run with a specific weight of oil. Just like that 30 weight oil is a little heavy to be running if it's going to be 20 degrees. So I'll probably make sure that oil is warm and we'll probably pour it in and immediately start the engine.
I'm laughing at stuff that's coming up here.
What's now?
38 Racing.
What's he say? Oreos. I got a line of Oreos.
I got to do a line of Oreos.
A line.
and then Danny Boyd. I just love your diet. I've been itching for a can of lemon and cake frosting lately. I could see it.
Guys.
But what's that? Right after the case of beer you drank, or I don't know what you're drinking. He gets on here and he what was it? It wasn't even 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He was one of the first ones on here when I put the thumbnail up. He goes, "I'm drunk already," or "I'm drunk," And then what was it on New Year's? The New Year's Eve show, he was drunk. So, he drinks and he eats cans of frosting.
Don't encourage him.
This is the diet I want.
Danny Boy, take care of yourself.
But you'll be a diabetic in a month. No, just a few glasses of gin on an empty stomach. Man, I like mixed drinks, but I can't do that anymore, But gin tonic, man, I love a good gin tonic. And then the other one I really like is spiced rum and Coke, although I'll use Diet Coke. And I really like both those mixed drinks. And there's probably a few others I like, but I don't know. When we went to Texas, I had one drink, and it was in a restaurant, and Kim was driving, so I didn't care. And it was a Diet Coke with some spiced rum in it, and I drank it on an empty stomach, but I don't think they put much rum in it because I never even felt it. And I haven't had any alcohol probably in a year, so, I should have really felt that. So they probably put just a little rum in it.
All right, I'm going to talk about cars. I don't care about drinking.
Oh, I just think it's good to talk about this.
Mike Murphy says the new Toyotas run off a zero-weight oil. They have incredibly close tolerances on the rings and stuff like that, and in the oil passages and the lifters and all this stuff. And your Mazda ran on super lightweight oil, didn't it?
Well,
they don't use any oil.
My Mazda was
zero. You don't have to add anything between oil changes.
0W20, but I think a lot of these Toyotas are now 0W8, I think. Yeah, I mean, they got clearances that are, close.
Really tight. You can't run heavy oil in there. But it's not going to do you any good. It's more likely to...
See, we're staying with this talk I was given here. 38 Racing, Morgan and Coke, yeah. Captain Morgan, which is the spiced rum and Coke.
Ro Gouliet says, Mick drinks sugar-free only for me. That's right. He usually drinks the little packages of sugar-free flavoring in his water.
Yeah, and then that remember in the restaurant I said to him, because they had a bar up there, and I said, "Man, you're driving. I think I might have a drink." And I asked the server, can I get a mixed drink with Diet Coke? And he said, "Sure." So I said, "Yeah, spiced rum and Diet Coke." And that was so good, but it was pretty weak drink. Still, it was good. Dr. Sullivan, Secret Sevens. Now it's the only cheap whiskey that's drinkable. That Canadian stuff is.
BNR
Here's
Racing.
157 Edsel Pacer. Oh, what's this?
All right, Terry, I will bring that up in a minute. Let me read.
Did somebody send a picture in?
No, I think he's saying this is a 57. Getting back to cars.
Because there's no 57 Edsel.
I'm dragging it away from mixed drinks to cars.
Oh, there are some new.
Okay, you check those out. I'll read some comments.
There are no 57 Edsels.
I run high zinc racing oil in my 454 truck. It's a roller cam with factory catalytic converters. Doesn't hurt the cats. Any zinc as long as the engine doesn't burn oil. Lakespeed Jr. said it's A-OK safe. I believe that makes sense that a new engine that's built, with good valve seals and everything like that, oil controls, that it wouldn't burn enough zinc to create a problem with the catalytic converters. But I think that they're required to make the catalytics ever last more than 100,000 miles, and that, by 100,000 miles, maybe you're burning too much. I don't know. They decided to take the zinc out of the oil for whatever reason, but
can you fix this?
Do you need zinc with a roller cam?
Can you fix this?
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, okay.
For some reason we're
like that?
Yeah, I guess. That's out of focus a little or something.
Yeah, that's what the picture looks like.
Who sent that in? That was sent in by...
Oh, BNR says roller lifters can fail without zinc as well. I didn't know.
Dick Dastardly sent that in.
Morgan and Coke for the win.
And the chat quit scrolling.
Bacardi comes from San Juan. 38 Racing is asking for free samples.
You're very diplomatic. What am I missing? Coat hanger. I like... Oh, Patreon Gold. See, when I was in Yuma, all the there were a lot of people there, like what is that? Patreon Gold. It's I can't think of what it is. I don't know. They can't bring the words up.
Terry Mott said just bring up a picture of it. Okay, I'm going to go back and do that, but I don't want to miss some of this stuff. Like Blake Gaddis says that he runs 5W30 in his slant. And the Wix filter has a built-in standpipe. Well, Slant 6 has a standpipe.
Yeah, both ours have standpipes in them.
I don't know if I'd run 5W30. I usually run 10W30. I guess the 5-weight oil might save just a little bit of parasitic losses, just a tiny bit. It might be really good for oil flow, though, so it's probably okay. Do you put any zinc additive in your oil, Blake? Do you add zinc? Because it's a solid cam. I think they like a little bit of zinc now and then.
Okay, this is
What year was I looking for? I was looking for a 57 what?
Edsel, but I don't think there are any 57 Edsels because they came out in the 58. I mean, they came out in 57, but it was a 58 year model. They came out like in October of 58-7.
Okay.
So, Patron, that's right, Patron. That's the I can't pull it up. What is that stuff?
It's the Mexican stuff that makes
the Mexican stuff. I can't think of it.
Makes people do bad things that they regret.
But the Patron was what seemed to be the thing everybody liked in Yuma because there are a lot of Mexican people there, and so that seemed to be the thing that was around a lot. Stuff's expensive and it's good. Okay, somebody sent this in. Buddy Car Final sent this in.
You're fine, Danny Boyd. I'm not upset about it.
This is a 57 Chevrolet El Morocco convertible, which I don't know anything about that car, but there it is. Kind of looks like a Cadillac on the side and the back.
That's a really pretty car.
So that's there. And then I'm going to pull up a couple more cars because, see, a lot of people sent stuff in. And so I'm trying to catch up.
Johnny C says tequila. Patronus
Yeah,
tequila.
tequila. Why couldn't I pull that up?
I don't
couldn't
know.
pull
You
that
get
out
a
of my
point,
brain.
Johnny C. Thank you.
I couldn't pull it up out of my brain. Okay, here is the wagon.
Oh, that's
that I gotta get it now. Who sent this?
Well, you find out. I'm gonna read. Dr. Go says, I bought a used 76 Grand Prix with a 400. The owner said to remember to change out the Castrol 2050 race oil. I later drove it way north and got a surprise snowstorm, and it hardly started for thick oil. Yeah, you got to be careful running oil that's too thick. Like 2050 is like summer oil that you run when it's hot out and you know what you're doing. But like if you think about the resistance in a little oil pump, if the oil is like syrup, like it's just a little bitty gear on the cam, that's so much stress on your whole system. You know, you have to consider those things, like seasonally changing your oil. If you're going to run heavy oil in the summer and then drive a car in the winter. That's the other thing. People do those cold starts and I think, oh my God, don't unnecessarily start your vehicle in the super, super cold. I want to go out there with a blowtorch and just soften up the oil pan but a little bit, you know? Like, can you imagine? And the other thing is it has to suck the oil up the dipstick, up the tube that goes down into the pan. Like a slant six, the pump's up on the side of the motor. It's a suck oil all the way up out of the pan. And it's like, if it's like 20 weight oil, that stuff's pretty thick. Try sucking, it's like sucking a really frozen Frosty through a straw. And you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. That's what you're doing to your car. You got to think about these things.
This was sent by J.G. Mopar. Oh, I guess he says that here too. That's his 62 Valiant wagon. And he said it had, this is tiny writing, I'm trying to read it, had 225 slant and push button transmission. Wishes he still had it.
That's gorgeous.
I really like those. There's people that don't like the road-towed wagons, but I think the road-towed wagons are beautiful cars.
That kicks butt. And you know what? I think it's excellent the way it is, but I think that if you wanted to make something like even what, like you could go with really fancy wheels and really dress it up and make it, do a different, some two-tone paint and stuff like that. You could do a lot with that. Like it's cool enough at the start that you could go wild with it and have, okay.
I want to read this.
BNR Racing said the very last of high zinc store-bought oils isn't advertised any. It's European spec oil, 540.
Yeah, this says right on
and 1040 and 1550.
That says right on it, high zinc oil. And I know it says SAE 30. But you know why I choose that?
That'll be good, yeah.
Because back in the day, that's what you ran in those cars. So, I don't know. For break-in, I think it's fine. And that'll run in that car we'll do the 20-minute break-in on the cam. We'll run it, I don't know, driving around a little bit, and then that oil's coming right out. Get all the assembly lube or whatever else is in there, get all that out of there, and then we'll put
Can you buy Euro spec oils at like Walmart? Is that like a thing they have on the shelf? Because it sounds like they've got all the weights. 530, 10, 540, 1040. They got them all. Olive said block heaters are a thing in some places I've lived. Yeah. That's why they have block heaters, because the last thing you want is to break an oil pump gear trying to start a vehicle. And if you got to drive every day, start at first thing in the morning at the overnight temperatures are like sub-zero. I know in Pittsburgh, block heaters were not a common thing. And I think a lot of, like, if you park on the street, where are you going to get power? So, in the cities, they're not so common. I don't know why they're not common in Pittsburgh, the block heaters. It's further north.
I know they had them in South Dakota when I was there.
They put block heaters in certain cars from the factory, especially a lot of diesels and trucks and things.
Okay, I'm bringing up another picture.
Danny Boyd says, and cold lights. Is it just like a warning? Like, hey, it's
the light that's blue? Like my Mazda had one of those blue lights. And then when the car starts to warm up, the light goes out. Instead of just an overheated light, there's an underheated light.
Blue Grit says, so this is something with the Toyotas. They have a machining issue where metal shavings got in the oil. Toyota will not even take these Tundras in for trades because they know they are junk. Look it up.
What is
what? It's their own darn vehicles.
Oh, who sent me this? Let's see if I can figure out what to do here.
Will the oil pump get jammed up then?
Okay, Tim sent me a picture of sequential taillights, but you sent me something I can't open because of what it is. It's a
it won't work.
Well, it's a WEBM file.
Oh, that's
which is
like a web.
It's
enabled.
a web enabled thing.
Yeah.
So I can't play that, but it's a Dodge Demon with sequential lights. But I can't. It's unusable here. Sorry. And then Buddy Carfano says, "Come on, old oil. What's this? Oh yeah, old oil. Oh man, this is how oil always came. In cans. I remember that.
That Castrol's a nice can. I'll give it to you. Tavo says an old Hungarian friend said they used to light a fire under the oil pan before starting their trucks. I don't recommend that, because you're going to burn the paint off and then it's going to rust. Because there's fuel in the engine. But there's just times where, it won't go in very well because it's just too darn cold. We used to stick a light bulb underneath the car, but that really isn't a lot of heat. But a 60-watt bulb makes easy bake oven, but the wind would just blow the heat out. So I don't know that it. BNR Racing says, yes, I buy 5 W40 Castrol Edge European oil for my daily driver Mitsubishi Raider with the 3.7 V6. So if you buy the European spec oils, they have zinc. So be cautious. Don't run it where you shouldn't. But that's a way to get zinc enabled oil without paying for break-in oil or supplements. That's very interesting information, BNR Racing. Thank you very much. And Walmart has it. There you go. Because then the price will be, Walmart's often cheapest. Not always, but you can get stuff at reasonable prices.
I'm downloading some photos here. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention.
Blue Grit says, I think the Tundra metal shavings issues wiped out bearings. If it was in passages in the engine, I guess it could get to the bearings. Oh man, that's terrible. That should be a warranty repair. Why is that not a warranty repair?
Okay, Dick Dastardly sent in some pictures. Let's see if these come out. There's the first one. Look at that.
Nice.
And then I'm going to try to scroll. Yeah, there's another. This 63 Plymouths.
Nice.
Mexican spec could be going nuts right now.
Need to take a very brief bathroom break. I'm going to do that.
There it is again. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. I'm sorry, I was messing around on my laptop over here downloading photos. Now I can't find my cursor. There it is. Okay. Working at the strip mine, we lit fires under engines all the time. Yeah, J.G. Mopar. This is stuff that Dick Dastardly sent in. Do they have it in California? The Euro Spec oil? I doubt they have anything in California. I shouldn't have such a negative attitude toward California, but I left there, and it's a pretty good decision. Hippie Long, I worked at an Arco station when Arco graphite oil came out. Had a lot of people say it looked used because it was black. I remember that stuff. Yeah, I don't know much about that, but I remember it. BNR Euro Spec oil on the label is not SN plus, Kim. Don't worry, SN plus actually means zero zinc now. Well, I don't think it's zero zinc. Yeah, watch Lake Speed Junior. He's pretty interesting. And he'll get you straightened out on oils or get you completely confused, one or the other. California is screwed. They should have it in California. I live in California and have a negative look as well. Yeah. I will check and see if they have it here. West Leopold. Let's see here. I got more pictures. Buddy Carafano sending something else. Oh, here we go. 57. I said, when I was a kid, I remember these things running around. There weren't a lot of them, but there were some. There were. You'd see one every couple of days. Yeah, Lake Speed's great. Lake Speed's a guy that I always wanted to see, a guy like that. And then all of a sudden he just showed up online. It's like, oh man. I wish there was somebody like that knows about gasoline, about all the additives in gasoline. Same kind of person, But at least we got an oil guy. And he is, man, I don't miss any of his stuff. And I wouldn't even try to repeat the stuff he says. I say just go watch him, The guy is, what's his channel? Lake Speed Junior is, I don't know, like something Engine Oil Geek or something. I don't remember. Oh, does anybody know the channel name? I can't think of the channel name. It's how the European cars were going so long. Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. Zinc and oils. Yeah, I can't. Oh, the Oil Geek. Okay, yeah, I know something like that. He's yeah. If you haven't been watching him, watch him, because he tells you everything about oil, and knows how to test it, and really knows what he's doing. He sometimes appears on Stapleton's 42's channel. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Sorbent the Geek. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to wait for Ken to get back to zoom that in closer, but another 1957 car from Buddy Carfano. Mexican Spec, welcome back. Hi, Buff. My niece got a kick out of you trying to say her name. I tried. I really tried. Sitlily. Sitlily? Did I say it right? Sitlily?
I don't know.
Mexican Spec is back as Mexican Spec.
Oh, you're home, Mexican Spec.
He's home.
Welcome to the stream. Do you want to take a few minutes to talk about Mexican Spec and his things, his scope of work, his life?
Oh, you brought that in closer.
Does?
You brought that in closer.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what
Yeah, that's because Buddy Carfano. Sitlily.
Sorry, I was away for a few minutes. Sometimes you got to take a break. It's been 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I was just wondering if I said it right. Sitlily. If that was, you can just tell me yes or no. Nice moves, Kim, whatever that is. There were Messerschmitts that looked like that. Oh, man. When I was driving tow truck, there was a guy who had 2 of those Messerschmitts, and they were for sale for $200 each. And I didn't have enough money for them because it was in the 70s, and that was a lot of money then. I towed them both to where he wanted them towed to. But, man, I wish I could have got one of those. A Messerschmitt car. What do you...
There's not even pictures.
Well, just... Sure, I'm sure there's cars. There's pictures. No, that's airplanes. But Messerschmitt car. There you go. He sat in tandem. Mexican Spec says, no, I said it wrong. Sorry about that. I tried. Yeah, there's this Messerschmitt. What a crazy little car that was. He sat single file. One of those micro cars from Europe.
That's little.
Yeah, the KR200, I guess is what it was called. Yeah, there's a bunch of micro cars. There's somebody just sent in a picture of that thing, the Isetta. Yeah, the guy in where I lived had 2 of them. Had a white one and a red one. And he had them for sale. I didn't have the money for them. I would have snapped one of them up. Okay, so I thought you came in here ready to say something. And
since Mexican Spec is here, I was going to ask Mexican
right.
Spec, you have anything from the late 50s? Do you have any 57 cars in your block of things? And I'll be able to search for it easier.
I want you to pull up.
What's that?
His Instagram. And he has a bronze-colored...
Well, something went wrong. There it is.
He has a bronze-colored, just in.
That's still something wrong.
Something went wrong. Oh, Jesus. Just recycle the stupid thing. There it is on the far right, upper right. That is a nice looking car. And that just came in. Look at that. It's got the cool front end. It's a 79, but I don't think the American one had the 79.
That
looked like that.
Color.
And look at the car. Man, is that nice. And look at that. It's got an automatic on the shift on the floor.
My 80 had a shift on the automatic.
With a console like that?
Console shift automatic.
Oh,
yes.
wow. And this one, and then he's got pictures under the hood. This is a really nice car.
What? Keep going.
Yeah, keep going until you get to the engine. Oh, look at that. Just look at everything.
Looks good, yeah.
76,000 kilometers, which is like 40,000 miles or something.
Oh, yes.
And
There's
it's a Super 6. And it's a Super 6.
Yeah, that's a good car.
Somebody could have this.
Damn. All right, and so...
Well, Mexican Spec can get you this car.
Okay, so not sponsored, but supported by Mexican Spec. He acts as moderator, which is a a wonderful thing that he is willing to do for us, and we thank him for being here for that. Although I think at this point we know so many people who would be excellent moderators, but however, we like to mention Mexican Spec. You can find him on Instagram and on YouTube, and Mexican Spec helps people to import. He facilitates the import of Mexican spec cars into the United States. After a certain age, the cars are eligible for import because they don't have to meet U.S. standards, and it may be something to do with collision or safety or emissions or whatever, but at this point, they're just old cars and you're going to accept that. But a lot of the Mexican cars have been restored or maintained or refurbished in some way that makes them very desirable, and Mexican Spec looks for them and then helps people get them. So you can get in contact with Mexican Spec if any of these cars that we like to look at, or if you just like to look at pictures of cars, he puts up a lot of them. Yeah, that's the thing. And then we're looking for a 57. How old is that 57? Two-door wagon on his page. Is there any way to search?
Can you? I want to do. God, I'm having trouble here. I got a lot going on. Tim managed to get me this. So can you switch to mine just for a minute? Because this is pretty cool looking.
I don't know if I can.
And then we'll go back to Mexican Spec. As soon as I get my okay, here we go.
Let me make it a little smaller so you can see the whole
Oh, you'll see it. Okay. This is from Tim. This is the back of his Demon. See if I can make it happen again. Look at that.
Oh, neat.
Non-stock, but pretty cool for an old car. Oh, there's brake lights. But anyway, I wanted to show that, and then you can go back to Mexican Spec.
Okay. What'd you do to me?
I don't know. There you go.
He says it's 11 rows down, so I got to be getting close.
457. There you go.
There it is.
No, that's 56.
Are you sure it's a 56? It's a Mexican Spec car, and that was about...
I don't know. Go back up there. That's 56.
It's a pretty nice looking Chevy wagon, though.
Yeah, we've looked at that one before.
So, yeah, if you just like looking at pictures of old cars, Mexican Spec collects the pictures, but he also has actual access to the purchase of these cars. I don't know how to count. I don't know where 11 is, but I feel like maybe
we went way past 11, but we didn't see a 57. You're way past. It's white. Okay, that'll help. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Slow down.
5, 6, 7.
Back up. Middle. With a 58 hood on it. It's a 57 with a 58 hood.
All right, so since we're doing 57, we're going to highlight this picture. The Mexican Spec, it's a Ford Ranch wagon. 2-door, V8, automatic. Listed as restored, but not the case. This car has been refurbished with some modifications. With a steering wheel from a Crown Victoria. Okay, so they did some Restomod stuff to it. Fairlane 500.
That's sort of crooked. Oh, look at it. Look, it's got a modern tilt column in it.
Yeah, and that console does not look at all.
The dash is... You know what? That one originally had a padded dash, but it doesn't now. And you know I can tell it's because the speaker grill is up. There's little spacers under there, and the speaker grill on the padded dash is up higher. And when they take this, that it remains that way when you take the pad off. And they paint the dash. But most of them are painted dashes anyway.
So, as you might expect, of a car of this age. I mean, these actually look like some really nice seats, but clearly they are not original type seats. But I'll bet you it's got a really nice ride. Somebody made some modifications to modernize and comfortize it, and I don't think that's always bad. So, anyways, cool cars, and that's what you can yeah, check out Mexican Specs stuff because
Scroll
what?
I want to see more pictures.
That was all of them.
No, I want there's something toward the end that I want to see.
Towards the end.
That I want to see and point it out. Again, stop. Look at the trim around the taillights. Somebody chromed them. Somebody chromed the trim around the taillights. I've never seen that before.
You break my heart. Stop in the name of love. Okay. I made a spectacle of myself.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, I see. And he's got the little.
So, yeah, so Mexican Spec has some, as usual, some pretty good cars.
Good times. I like to mention that because Mexican Spec has been so supportive of us and this stream since like we very began. Like the very beginning. Like he might have been here the first stream that we did. And he has been a supporter ever since. And it's a lot of work being here for like all of our full streams. Like that's a lot of you guys are really dedicated and we really appreciate you. And we appreciate all the comments and all the pictures that people showed. Did we ignore anybody?
The Blue Grit's taken off, so I just want to say goodnight. Take care, man.
Thanks for being here, Blue Grit Garage. We're going to have some content that Blue Grit is going to enjoy because we're going to be working on that Fox body very soon. Once we get the motor in my car.
Oh, Tim says, I always like those lights on the T-Birds. Yes, you did it to your Demon. That's pretty cool. Oh, my diagram just... By the way, how I know you say all your digits are working and it's healing. That was a week ago. Can you update us on your injury?
Yeah, how you feel? Are you recovering well? Tavo hurt his hand.
Oh man, that's
while he was watching our live stream with an angle grinder.
It was a New Year's I won't forget because Danny Boyd was drinking. Kind of laughing about it on here. And then Tavo tried to lop his hand off. Ended up going to the hospital. And while he's in the hospital, the nurse looked at it and said cleaned it or something. And then he's in there talking to us, following the stream. And the doctor came in, made him put it away, wanted his attention, and stitched him up. And then he said he was going home, and then he came back, and on he came again. So it was pretty good. Mexican Spec is part of the Permanent Mexican. Dean, XCRF, and XCRB. Man, when I was a little kid, I used to listen to XCRB way up the coast in California, but XCRB then I think was 200,000 watts, something like that. It was crazy. But it came in like a local station. It was amazing. And they were over the border in Tijuana. Thumb is no longer strapped to the finger. Moves on its own. Just needs some more skin healing before the stitches can come out. Well, that's good. So it sounds like everything's moving forward. And another die grinder story. Not die grinder, but grinding wheel story. You know, Tony at UTG, Uncle Tony, he had one go up through his face, and you can't get Tony to go to the doctor. But he went to the doctor and had I don't remember how many stitches in his face. A lot. For the same kind of injury, only on his face. I never saw it. It happened before I knew him. Look at that. Look at that orange, yellow, whatever it is, AMC Rambler there, which is probably VAM, V-A-M. Yeah, it's a Mexican spec Rambler American 2-door.
It's a nice looking car. I've had a couple of them wafer discs explode. The cutting wheels, they're so good. You can cut through metal so fast. But if you change the angle and then you've got metal on both sides so that like you like do some like warp flex with it, they'll explode. You better make sure your face is out of the way. Like it'll be over just like that. You'll be like, oh man, I should have been more careful. You know, it's so useful. You cannot not have that tool, but so dangerous. Okay, we've got more pictures.
Okay, this is
We're pivoting away from the Mexican spec stuff,
just for a
although
minute
we
here,
love
yeah.
it. But we're moving back to the regular scheduled stream kind of things.
This is Bruce Culchin in Canada, and that is a Mercury truck.
Oh, those are cool.
It looks just like the Ford, but on the tailgate they say Mercury, but no tailgate. And I think some of them across the hood it says Mercury, but that's pretty cool.
Looks like the tailgate sitting in the bed.
That's pretty cool. And that's a body style I really like. I don't know what year that is. What year did he say that was? Did he? 57. Oh, it's a 57. That's what year we're on. Yeah, I like 57. Because they have the single headlights up front, and it's first year for that body. That when I was 16, I worked for a company where it was a landscaping company, and they gave me a truck to drive, and that's what it was. I had a 57 Ford 3 on the tree with a Y block in it, and it was yellow. Yeah. Dean Steven, he's worried Steve Leto was going to sue him. Davo, you'd be amazed how anti-litigation Australians are in the public service. What is that all about, Steve? Steve Leto. You watch him, Dean? Somebody stole the tailgate. Oh, man. Yeah, and it says Mercury on the hood. Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, it's whiz wheel, death wheel. Yeah, we use them, yeah, and it's real easy to get complacent with those things. 38. I'm partial to the diamond cutoff wheel. They don't explode.
Yeah, but I don't know. The diamond wheels, I don't feel like they bite as hard as the composite wheels. The composite wheels, they grind down, they wear off fast, but man, do they cut. They just, whoom, abrasive wheels will just go. A diamond cutoff wheel will do it too, but more expensive too. Depends on what you're working on.
So Mexican Spec, you and Dean are both in his lives on Sunday. I just don't go to that, and I don't know why. Maybe I should. I never miss his videos, but I don't. I think I might have gone in his live once, and
he doesn't wake up Sunday morning.
I was busy. Yeah, what does he come on, like noon or something? I don't know. I've seen him. I don't know. I just don't watch his lives. I don't know why I don't.
'Cause you're mean.
I don't know.
How do you think that makes that guy feel that you don't show up for his lives?
Oh, he's got like 500,000 subs or something. You think he knows who I am?
I
think I might have left a comment once.
He probably wonders, why does Buff Del Campo never come to my lives? He must not like me.
Buddy Garvano, you watch that short. Chip clip explodes. Ask Buff. She is right there with a camera, and I start this short, and this thing flies apart, and I was like,
whoa, what are you doing?
That sure messed this up. Let's do it over. And then I thought it was pretty funny, so I put it up.
It was silliness.
I put it up as a short, as a blooper.
Mexican Sex says it's probably noon.
Yeah, I think that's what it is noon.
You could probably do noon. You'd have to set your alarm because you will forget what day it is until 2 in the afternoon.
Steve is so cool. You might just get over your rejection, Buff. Steve Ladle knows who I am. I didn't believe solo cups came in different colors. Oh.
He shows me the color he's using every time.
Solo cups. They were different in the late 50s and early 60s. Man. They're the same. They look the same. But colors were different. And they were pretty cool looking back then. Or at least it's something that I was used to. What is this? I have a Milwaukee M12 cordless cutoff wheel. 3-inch. I use cuts nice on thin steel, but not enough power to make the silicon carbide wheel to explode. You know, that's what I need is a cordless one.
The 3-inch one would be a lot more resistant to explosion, I would think. You'd have to really like jackknife it in there to get it to bust. And yeah, once you get up to about 4.5 inches, you figure the outside radius of that is it's whipping. It's going fast. What's Roe talking about for sacrificial anode hype?
I am not sure.
They should use more sacrificial anodes, honestly, in automobiles. Manufacturers don't care. It just does get through the warranty, so they're not too worried about it. But
Mexican Spec, are you a mod in his? You a moderator in Latos? Moderator everywhere else. Okay. Dick Dastardly sent me pictures. They look like crap, but I'm gonna try to save them and see if they come through better than they are.
Don't say they look like crap.
Well, I think they're not all the way downloaded, so they're.
Oh, maybe.
So I don't think they.
I think maybe they're just old photos that are a little bit blurry.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I can.
Looks like someone spotted Bigfoot and tried to take a picture. Bigfoot has a force field that bends light that makes it hard to photograph him. That's why. That's why you never see. But see,
oh yeah, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I don't know why they came out like that. Is that how they are?
They just looks like really old pictures, to be honest with you.
Yes. Burnout.
That kicks ass.
Did you want to go back to Mexican Spec because I interrupted him?
No, I not in a no kind of way, but like I think I said I just wanted to give a shout out to Mexican Spec, and I knew he'd have something on his page that was from from the late 50s that we could include that, you know, fit the bill for tonight.
I wanted to show him something else. Dick Dastardly sent this in, and I think Mexican Spec would have some appreciation for that. Because he is a 1963 Plymouth aficionado. JG Mopar CUDA. I want a 70 or 71 CUDA.
Everyone wants one. That's why they're so expensive.
My favorite still is the 67 through 69. Of course, that's not a CUDA. It's a Barracuda. But I just like that body style. Man, I like that body style. I mean, that's the A body I'd like to have. I don't know what happened to Mexican Spec. He's probably just stunned by the front of that car. Look at that. Urgh.
Maybe his fingers are busy doing something else.
Jeez.
Well, I just mean he needs his fingers to type. Maybe he's doing something. You have to take it weird.
CUDA started in 69. On the 69 body style? Or in 69 as the 70 body style? I don't know. I really don't know. Look at that. It has a red interior.
really does.
I just wanted, Mexican Spec wasn't here when we were showing these pictures, and he is such a 63 Plymouth guy that I want him to see it. Of course, I like 63 Plymouths as well. Something a lot of people don't notice is the windshield on the 63 Plymouth is actually V'd a little bit in the middle. Yeah, the Barracuda started, no, like 64. But the Cuda, the one that was actually called a Cuda, I guess JB says it started in a 69 body style. And you sent one for the live 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, the Cuda was it was a Barracuda, but it was a special Barracuda, the one they called the Cuda. Dad raced that car from 77 to 2002. The one I had was a hardtop, did not have a B pillar, which I think looked really good, but I know most people like the ones with the B pillar. If I've got a 68 383 Formula S, one of 99 that you would like, yeah, I bet I would. Yeah, I remember those things when they were new and pretty nice cars. Yeah, if I go to, there was a car show I used to go to that we did in Tucson, Arizona. They do 4 of them a year at the Chrysler dealer. And it was just it's like free food and all these cars. And they, it brought a lot of people into the dealership, but it was an all day affair with live music and everything. And man, if there was a 67 through 9 Barracuda, you can bet that's the first car I went over and looked at.
JG Mopar says the movie Phantasm is what got me into Mopars. I wanted a 71 Cuda from the movie, and I've loved those cars since I was a kid. Yeah, that's
There
a
it is.
really pretty Cuda. Very, very, yeah. Wow. Yeah, if that doesn't make you love the look of a Cuda, then you're just never gonna.
Oh, my buddy's hearse.
I'll be right back. I got a call.
Kim left me alone again. What can I do stupid while she's not here? Yeah, Mexican Specs into 63 Plymouths and hearses. I bet they never made a 63 Plymouth hearse. Or I shouldn't have said that because he'll find one. What does that mean? Terry Barker. Dean Stevenson, I have an energy force that eats Bigfoot's force. JG Mopar, yes, the Nash Bridges Cuda, sweet also. Mexican Spec, they might have Buff in another country. There's a 59 Dodge ambulance here. Dean, just like Andy from Toy Story. B&R, my late bud Bob bought an X-Drag car, 71 Cuda. Built a 440 Magnum for it, roll cage. Bob was a huge muscle. I'll get it out. Yeah, Bob was a huge muscle guy. 6 foot 1 inches tall, midsection shorter legs. Drove that Cuda. His head tilted sideways. Expect Max. You're not easy to find. BNR Racing, Bob told me I hate this car, Brian. I want another Charger. 38 Racing, you can always count on Dino talking or taking the chat in a direction you never would have thought. Never would have thought. Yep. Hippie Long, what got me into Mopars was you can see Kim, part of Kim there. To Dashley, I've only seen the 63 wagons drag strip. Really? I remember those things when I was a kid. They were all over the place. But I was a kid in 1963, so. Dr. Go, back in the day, my relative just used his 70 Challenger like a truck when he tied a big rope to the front bumper of his 383 and pulled down a big broken limb. Then lightning cracked. A couple of yanks. Kim, what you doing? They can partially see you. What you making? You're cooking food? You're defrosting dinner? Great conversation. It's just like a lunatic asylum, 38, trust me. Okay, Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, JB, there was a 63 Plymouth hearse in the UK. Some idiot recently used it for a demo derby. We've been here 3 hours and 15 minutes. You're making dinner. You think we should?
I think we should.
I think we should, though. Say goodnight.
There's so many cars we didn't look at for 57.
Oh, but we looked at them all that came in.
I know, but we just looked at some U.S. cars. But there's a lot of cars that we didn't look at.
Well, do you want to stick around and look at more cars? We're 3.5 hours into this.
I'm kind of tired. But guys, like we could do 57 3 weeks in a row and not repeat if we were organized about it.
Next week's 71.
Let's try and be more organized, people. We need more than just American cars.
Like some Australian or New Zealand or Irish.
Yeah. Like, there's so many different cars from Europe that we didn't look at. From 57, there were some wild cars over there that we didn't see anything. Let's get worldwide, people. Try and dig deep, okay, guys? I understand we all like Mopars. We do, and we can spend time looking at Mopars and Chevys. But let's broaden our horizons, right? Let's look at some stuff we've never seen. Show me some stuff, guys. I want to see it. I know you can do it. But you guys did great. I think we had a lot of really good conversation. Cool pictures. Thank you to everyone who sent emails and pictures and took time to do that.
Oops.
Thanks
I didn't mean to do that.
Moderator, Mexican Spec. Next year, we're going to do 1971.
Next year?
Next week, we're going to do Next week, we're going to do 1971. But we also would love to see your projects or something that interesting. If it's not 1971, we'll still look at it. In 1957, most of the world still walked. I mean, that's true. Now nobody walks anywhere.
What? In 1957, most of the world still walked. Oh, I don't know. In the U.S., I know we were all driving around. Humber Super Snipes. I remember those. Okay. Adios.
I know, Tavo. We're leaving you alone. There's got to be somebody else. Okay, so this is the thing, right? Like, when we're done, there's nobody after us.
Yeah, we're always the late show.
So if somebody
cleanup crew.
If somebody wants to stream after us, we're fine with doing that. Sometimes that Katarina, she's in Canada. I think she's in a further west time zone. Sometimes she does late streams, but
She's in Alberta.
We don't really talk to her much, so I don't know.
But Katarina is a Fox Body Mustang person.
She's cool.
And she does live streams middle of the night. And I see her sometimes. So,
well, anyways, if anybody has a suggestion for that, we would love to coordinate. We enjoyed doing the show. I hope you all were entertained. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We will be even though it's cold, I'm going to make a fire at least one night later this week. So we'll try and put up a notice that we're going to stream as early in the day as possible. But I'm going to make a fire in the fireplace. We're going to get the cam and lifters installed, get the cylinder head. We're going to try and get that motor back together so we can put it in the 66 Dart, and we'll do that from the shop. And we usually start around 10 p.m. So we will.
Jamie, Katarina aggravates me.
She thinks Impala is a Caprice.
No, she thinks it's above the Caprice. The Caprice is a higher trim level than Impala.
I would never even talk to somebody who didn't know that Impala is a Caprice.
JB's right.
And Imprice. The Imprices and the Impalas, they have to. Don't you know? Don't you know?
Indirect.
She knows a lot about cars, though. She's a smart girl.
She's a Fox Body person. Okay, we gotta shut this down.
He's hungry. He heard the food, and now he's done.
No, I don't want Boat Anchor saying goodnight. Okay, I just don't want the goodnight to go on for 15 minutes. So, because once you say goodnight, everybody just takes off, and then we're here alone.
All right. Well, thanks, Boat Anchor, Tavo, Mexican Spec, 38 Racing, B&R Racing, Dean Stevenson, Indirect, JB, Hippie Long, everybody.
JG Mopar.
We'll see you all next Tuesday or later.